into the end zone where Terry takes it midway and downs it, takes a knee on the touchback, and the Mountaineers begin from their own 20-yard line. Now, courtesy of Adidas, let's look at today's starting lineups. Brad Lewis starts at quarterback for the Mountaineers. And their offensive line, Brad Cannell, the only returning starter from the year. What about that Tim Brown back at Notre Dame Stadium? A different one.
Yeah, different one. Since 1985, his first visit back.
Avon Coburn, second leading rusher all time at West Virginia. But they have that spread offense with wide receivers all over the field. 4 of them here, 3 to the right side. They hand to Coburn, and Coburn tripped up, had a hole for a moment. Anthony Weaver got a hand on him.
Well, he did have a lane there, didn't he?
Weaver, Buttonsack, Roberts, and Boyman up front for Notre Dame will open up in a nickel defense. That means 5 defensive backs to go with Harrison and Watson. The DBs, Dykes, Israel, Duff, Walton, and Beckstrom. Lewis again from the shotgun. Look at all the time left on the...
Raises his foot, and then the center knows he's ready.
2nd and 11 after the penalty. Pass broken up as Lewis sent it down toward Antonio Brown, and it was Shane Walton that made the play on defense.
Yeah, Shane Walton said to us yesterday, this is the kind of a game the defensive backs love. You play against a no... But again, there's lots of time left. This is why they are able to run 82 plays per game.
Lewis again looking to throw and has the receiver, threw it behind him. Antonio Brown was open, had gotten to the inside of Shane Walton, and Lewis threw it behind him.
Yeah, and this is the frustration Coach Rodriguez has had with really his first 2 quarterbacks. The plays are there. The receiver is wide open. And if he gets that out in front of him, he can run for another 20 or 30 yards, but the ball thrown behind him.
So on 4th down, Todd James will punt for West Virginia. Mark Fazzolari, normally their punter, but James getting the call this week. Julius Jones takes it at the 40. A lot of room to roam. And Jones upended at the 45-yard line of West Virginia. 14-yard return of a 41-yard punt. Special teams tackle by Ben Collins of West Virginia. And here's the way the Irish line up. Jeff Fain a little nicked up from a week ago, but will start. Vollers back at tackle after some time at guard earlier in the season. Holiday again at quarterback. Julius Jones. Tony Fisher a bit hampered by injury this week. Lipinski, Gibbons, Hunter, and the tight end Owens.
Lipinski played well last week at fullback. No, didn't carry the ball, but did a very nice job of blocking.
3 wide receivers here for the Irish. Hunter, Gibbons, and Crawford. No tight end. Option. Holiday keeps inside the 40. Shakes a tackler. 30 down the sideline with a blocker and finally forced out of bounds by McIntyre. After the blockers develop and Holiday with a big play, Gibbons out there running interference.
Yeah, you're right. David Gibbons, number 6, real nice block. Opening play, they want to get their most dangerous runner right now. That's Holiday on the perimeter. The strength is what kind of surprises me a little bit, Tom. He is 218 pounds, and if you put a number 9 on him, he looks a little bit like Tony Rice in 88 and 89.
27-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage for the Irish. Spot the ball at the West Virginia 19-yard line. Julius Jones, he's got a lane. Jones for the end zone. Touchdown. Jordan Black with a block at the line of scrimmage, and Julius Jones racing for the end zone, dives in, a 19-yard score.
Talk about building off the momentum of 249 yards rushing from last week.
Nick Setta for the extra point.
It's going to be a long game.
It's up, and it is good. So the Irish take 16 seconds, 46 yards on 2 plays. They lead 7-0. The offense takes 2 plays to get it in the end zone. Julius Jones with the 19-yard scamper for the score after Carlisle Holiday had a long run on first down. Nick Setta will kick off for the Irish. Glenn and Braxton are the deep men. Glenn takes it on the fly. This time he's going to bring it out. Glenn lost the football.
It was a helmet, I think.
Or was it a helmet?
Ouch. Yeah.
Well, somebody grabbed it, whatever it was.
And tried to score with it.
There it is, as you see it. The helmet. Well, went flying as Chad DeBolt knocked the helmet off Jeremy Knapp.
You know, these offensive linemen next tomorrow. Well, here's the run. I'm sorry. Again, guys just flying into the wedge, and there comes the helmet.
I thought it was the football.
Yeah. So did the Notre Dame player.
So now the Mountaineers try to answer the Irish drive. They'll begin from their own 15-yard line. 3 wides, top of the field. Hand it to Coburn. And Coburn breaks free. The defender, Israel, slipped. And Coburn is caught from behind at the 40-yard line by Ryan Roberts.
And a hustling Ryan Roberts. Otherwise, Coburn goes the distance. Now, they had this, you know, the very first play, Tom. Remember, there was a little crease, and he got tackled right around the ankles. Breaks that one there. Good move, makes Israel slip and fall. But if you don't have a hustling defensive end there, that's a touch.
24 yards and a Mountaineer first down. Swing pass is complete to Coburn, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Harrison and Duff.
And Ryan Roberts again. Duff, Harrison, and Ryan Roberts, the defensive end. So 2 good hustling plays by Roberts, who's filling in for the injured Grant Irons.
Give Coburn a yard on the play and make it second down and about 9 yards.
Quarterback looking over for the audible. They call the audibles from the sideline as well, and Brad Lewis just got an audible from the sideline.
It's a handoff to Coburn, and here he goes again. Shakes a tackler. He's at the 20, the 10. Touchdown. Israel got him right at the last minute, but he fell into the end zone.
I think Israel missed the tackle. I think Israel just absolutely missed him when he should have tackled him about the, I don't know, the 20-yard line.
Was that Israel?
Yeah.
60 yards, scamper.
Yeah, I mean, they've got something going here. They've got a good plan going. They're spreading them out, and watch the missed tackle here by Israel.
That is Israel.
Yeah, and that should have been a tackle. Got his head on the wrong side, but Coburn just runs right through that. But, you know, they've had almost 3 touchdown runs by Coburn on that same little inside play. Spread them out with the 4 wide receivers, give it to Coburn inside.
Vontez Duff chasing him, just got him by the shoe top, but he fell into the end zone. Brendan Rowe with the extra point, and it's good. Well,
got your breath.
Good to be.
Quarterback rolls to his right, finds Tarando's loop in the end zone for a touchdown. Alabama extending their lead now by 10.
So Todd James is ready to kick it off. And Julius Jones awaits it, along with David Gibbons. Jones from the 5.
Oh, he's got some.
He's got blockers. Yeah. He's got a lane. Jones cuts up. He's still on his feet. He's down the sideline with 1 man to beat, who pushes him out of bounds. A touchdown saving tackle by the kicker, Todd James. Didn't tackle him, but knocked him out of bounds.
We saw that right from the very beginning. A perfect lane was open. This looked like their special teams of a year ago when they got those big lanes. But Lipinski, number 36, right there, gets a block. And Duff's kind of hustling out there as well. But, again, that lane opened up. It was easy to see. And when they had big returns a year ago, Tom, remember, they always seemed to be those left returns. They had a couple of them against Nebraska, I remember. So, special teams here, big for the Irish thus far.
58-yard return by Julius Jones. I hope Elliott Cal, Mr. Stats, on an adding machine.
Didn't quite expect this, did we?
Tony Fisher's in at tailback now. As we said, had a hamstring problem a week ago. He's in there as Holiday's pass is behind Javen Hunter, the intended receiver, who was defended by Lewis Daniels. West Virginia lines up this way with Lovelake, Upchurch, and Davis up front. McIntyre and Payton with the defensive backs Estrada, Bryant, Daniels, Sherrod, and Hackett.
McIntyre playing for Grant Wiley, who was the Big East Rookie of the Year ago out with the hamstring.
Hunter, Gibbons, Jenkins, and Crawford, 4 wide receivers on 2nd and 10. And the give is to Fisher. Tony Fisher breaking tackles, makes it inside the 30, where he's put down by Corey McIntyre.
You know, we were talking to Kurt Vollers, the right tackle for the Irish yesterday, and number 75, and he was saying, you know, offensive linemen don't get a lot of notoriety, don't get a lot of publicity, but what they look at the end of the game is total rushing yards. And that's what, you know, Kurt Vollers and the offensive linemen felt so good about last week when they rushed for 249 yards. And again, the offensive lineman right now just kind of getting into a rhythm.
3rd and 3, short yardage situation. Owens and Godsey, 2 tight ends in this formation. Holiday with Fisher the lone setback. Option. Pitch. Fisher lowers his head as he's knocked out of bounds. He should have the first down. Forced out of bounds by Caden, but not until Tony Fisher had enough yardage to keep the drive going.
This is more option than we've seen from Notre Dame. It's still early in the first quarter, but more option where they actually pitching the ball, Tom. You know, we've seen the option over the last couple of years where the quarterback seemed to keep it an awful lot for the Notre Dame team, but more pitches, and they've gotten to the perimeter and gotten some plays, and that time an apparent first down, although they're going to measure.
Estrada was the man that they were optioning and forced Holiday into the pitch. They've obviously watched the film and note that Holiday likes to keep it. They made him give it up. First down, Notre Dame.
No, I'm surprised to see Tony Fisher in. He had that hamstring, I guess, strain last week. Right. You know, he broke through the line against Pittsburgh, and he was running out in the open. It looked like he pulled up like a lame horse. A very versatile player, though, is Tony Fisher. Good special teams player as well.
Like Julius Jones is back in at tailback. Lipinski the fullback. With Gibbons, Jenkins, and Romer. And Lipinski with a rare carry got about a yard. That's only his 2nd carry of the season. Sherrod and McIntyre combined for the West Virginia tackle.
Threw him a bone for all that good blocking he's done the last couple of weeks.
As they should.
You know, but Bob Davie said yesterday, we've got to do a few things. We've got to get the fullback involved a little bit more. We're going to see the fullback run the ball some more, get involved in the receiving. But Lipinski has had a couple of good weeks blocking, and so you know, they give him one.
4 wides, Crawford, Jenkins, Gibbons, Hunter. It's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun. Holiday pitching, a shovel pass to Jones. Didn't get much.
And Caden just blew that up. Kyle Caden.
Yeah. He was ready for that. Right in the center of that West Virginia defense. Kyle Caden, the senior from Fremont, Ohio. Went to St. Joseph Central High School. Was a running back there and set a school record by gaining 4,000 yards.
Well, you know, this is his 38th consecutive start. I told you a couple things. He's a tough guy. He's available all the time. He's a smart guy, but he talked about all the injuries he's had to fight through. 3 shoulder injuries, a knee, a hip pointer, and a hamstring in those 38 starts.
2nd leading tackler for the Mountaineers. 3rd down. On 3rd and long, Holiday feeling some pressure. The block is picking up, and he finds Hunter. Javen Hunter with a first down just short of the 10-yard line, covered by Richard Bryant of the Mountaineers.
Well, it's a longer completion, I believe, than anything they had last week. That's 13 yards, and started with good protection. Offensive linemen, you know, when you get the running game going, they get into a rhythm. Offensive linemen do very quickly, and so then they can give you some good pass protection. Big hole right in here in the middle for Hunter. Ball well thrown, well timed. But with these routes, the Notre Dame routes, though, they seem to run a lot of hooks where they catch the ball and are tackled right after they catch it, rather than, you know, getting the receiver on the move so he could run after the catch.
First down, just short of the 10-yard line. And they give to Jones, and Julius Jones to the 8, tackled by McIntyre there. The Irish can make a first down without scoring.
Well, Julius was talking to us yesterday, and he said, you know, I've been watching tape of myself. He said, I've been running timidly. And, you know, he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to really go 110% today. He said, I'm not sure why I was running so timidly, but he faulted himself. He's only averaging, coming into this ball game, 3.3 yards per carry. They're looking for a breakout game and a breakout season for Julius Jones.
8th play of the Notre Dame drive. Their first drive was only 2 plays. This is 2nd down and 7. Holiday's pass nearly intercepted, then off the hands of Lipinski, after Estrada and McIntyre had a shot at the interception.
Yeah, they sure do. You need one of those windows to the receiver. The quarterback's talking about having that window to the receiver. That window was shut and blocked, and the shades were down. There was just no window to Lipinski.
That looks like a catch maybe Lipinski should have made, but until you experience the fact that when it's tipped, it just throws your timing completely off, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's 3rd down and 7. We're tied at 7. 9 minutes to go, first quarter. Holiday, plenty of time. Now he's going to scramble free. He has a blocker in front. Tucks it under and dives to the 5-yard line.
Did he have David Gibbons open for a touch? And David Gibbons, now again, the quarterback scrambling around, your coach, hey, don't turn the ball over that part of the field. But David Gibbons was running the back of the end zone. I'm talking wide open.
Kyle Caden forcing Holiday out of bounds with help from Sean Hackett.
We talked about the weather a little bit, Tom. It's not raining at this moment, but it is still slippery and slick out there. And for kickers, that plant foot, you know.
Nick Seta with a 21-yard field goal attempt. He has not missed this season. He's 4 for 4. High snap, but down, and the kick is through by Nick Seta. Seta remains perfect on the season. And the Irish extend their lead now 10-7 over West.
Special teams plays. Has to go 10 yards. There's 5. There's 10. Perfectly executed. See Matt Sarb, number 45, kind of his personal protector there. So that's a good job of coaching. Good scouting and then good execution by the team.
What was it that Bob Davie and his assistants all said to us last week? It's time to just let it rip.
Yep.
And that has carried over to this week. Nick Seta with the onside kick recovery. So Notre Dame, their first 2 possessions, 46 yards in 2 plays, a touchdown, 10 plays, a field goal, and now possession again and a reverse to Gibbons. David Gibbons, one man to beat, got by him. Dives close to midfield. It was a lot of trouble for a couple of yards, and Hackett made sure that he didn't get by him.
But Angel Estrada, number 7, you're right, Tom, because that was set up. But Angel Estrada, number 7 for West Virginia, prevented what would have been a very long play, perhaps a touchdown. He was not fooled, stayed at home. He's one of 2, really rover backs. They play with 2 rovers, one they call a whip, but that was Angel Estrada, a former walk-on who plays hard. One of those guys every single down.
Holiday from the shotgun with a handoff to Jones. And Julius tackled for no gain on the play by McIntyre. The senior linebacker from Indiantown, Florida, off to a good start defensively. Let's check in with Matt.
Thanks, Tom. Pat, you were mentioning earlier the fact that some of the Irish players changed shoes after the initial practice. It was raining a lot harder earlier. The shoe that I've got here is the standard Team D, the standard 7-stud, the 7-cleat shoe. Most of the Irish, in fact, all the Irish at this point are wearing this shoe as they've determined that the conditions are okay. In case of real severe weather, and some of these guys tried this one earlier today, this is what they call the sloppy track shoe, Tom, the old horse racing term. But again, the conditions are such that they're in the standard cleat today.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Javen Hunter with a first down reception from Holiday, covered by the linebacker McIntyre. I thought Matt was talking about shoe there for a minute.
That was not a running back shoe either. I mean, that thing had to be size, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that.
See some other scores going by in college football today. And on that field, Chris Sims with a big day for the Longhorns. That big divot they took out a minute ago looked like I've seen some toupees look worse than that. Murray and Jones to Murray at fullback, Jones at tailback. As we see Jason Murray for the first time, and Jones nearly broke it. And once again, it's Sean Hackett that prevented the touchdown. Go in depth on the Fighting Irish by logging on to NBCSports.com. A special section, NBC's Notre Dame Central, features Pat's look at how the Irish can diversify their offense. Plus, after the game, check out audio interviews with Coach Bob Davie and key Irish players, all at NBCSports.com.
Yeah, next week, we talk about your special teams, I think. They've done an awfully good job here in this first quarter.
Well, the offense has been pretty good, too. 2 possessions, 10 points. Here's a 2nd and 8. Holiday with a quarterback draw. Carlisle Holiday using his blockers. Flag down.
What a block by 22, Julius Jones. Man.
Rick Sherrod with the tackle. A 20-yard gain if it stands. Flags came down late.
You can see Carlisle Holiday just kind of growing in confidence and in stature. And Julius Jones, you have to do everything if you play running back here. You play special teams. You have to block. You occasionally have to catch, not too often in the Irish scheme, but great block by Jones.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Spot of the foul. Replay. 2nd down.
Bob Davie with a rueful smile as a 20-yard gain is wiped out.
They're going to call the hold there on the wide receiver. It's Ronnie Rodimer.
So put the ball back at the 36-yard line where the Irish will have a second down play. The holding is a spot foul. It goes in the books as a 2-yard gain. It'll be second down and 6.
And we've seen, what, 3 option plays. All 3 of them have actually run for positive yardage by the Irish thus far.
2 tight end formation here and 2 wide receivers. Holiday to pass. Lots of protection. Goes for the end zone. Gibbons. No good. No good. Looked like he had it. Could not hold on. David Gibbons. And he looks like he's hurt.
And he came in with a sore hamstring.
Bryant and Sherrod defending on the play as Holiday whipped it all the way into the corner of the end zone.
You certainly can't give it any more effort. Good coverage by Bryant, too, really. Terrific coverage. For a moment, yeah, and just trapped it, I guess.
Yep, couldn't haul it in before he hit the turf.
Again, trying to stretch the field. Longest pass play of the year is only 19 yards.
In fact, it was only the 4th time all season they've tried the real long pass, and Gibbons nearly had it, just couldn't hold on.
Good positioning by the side judge there. But you mentioned only 3 long passes this year up to that point. 2 of those were intercepted. And so, the game plan, we said at the top, they must get more production out of the passing game, and in particular, longer passes. This is their leading receiver from a year ago, David Gibbons. Carlisle Holiday knew he threw this ball well. And he had to throw it kind of on a rope because he felt the free safety coming over. He thought it was a touch.
A little body English. He thought he had 6. 36-yard line. 10-7 Notre Dame lead. 6.5 minutes to go. First quarter. Holiday with a handoff. Oops. Fisher lost it.
Recovered by West Virginia, I think.
It is West Virginia's ball. West Virginia recovers the Tony Fisher fumble. Upchurch was there for the Mountaineers, and Estrada too, as Fisher fumbles the ball and West Virginia takes over.
Yeah, you mentioned David Upchurch. He is the nose tackle, number 95 for West Virginia. Makes a lot of plays upfield.
Ball just comes flying out.
Looked like the receiver from Pittsburgh last week.
Rick Sherrod corralling the ball there. So a turnover by the Irish. Fisher's fumble gives it to West Virginia. From their own 38-yard line. Hand off to Coburn. And this time the Irish are ready for the junior from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And stop him at the line of scrimmage. Perhaps a loss of a yard.
Rocky Boyman on the bottom of that thing, number 30. Playing with a sore knee. He's ordinarily a linebacker, but today he's going to play exclusively defensive end, a rush defensive end.
He's at the top of the defensive line there. As Lewis rolls, sets his feet and delivers. And a diving catch is made by Antonio Brown. Glenn Earl defending Brown, who went down to catch it right off the turf. Nice catch by Antonio.
You'll see West Virginia from time to time break the pocket. And again, just trying to flood that zone with 3 receivers, 1 short. That's the intermediate receiver there in Brown, and then 1 guy deep.
Brown, the leading receiver for the Mountaineers a year ago, and ranks 7th all-time in receiving yardage at West Virginia. Coburn, delayed play. And on the delayed handoff, Tario Harrison collapses him immediately.
Now watch how fast they get the call play. This is Rich Rodriguez, the head coach. He's got a red armband, and he's got a black one. His assistant coach does too. And when they put up the red armband, that is a pre-snap signal to all their skill position players that the play that's about to be called. They have a red signal and then a black signal. And then he looks over for audibles to the sideline as well.
Notre Dame showing blitz here. And here they come. Lewis got away, still on the run, and unloads it incomplete. Flag is down.
Well, that was a good play by Brad Lewis avoiding the sack.
And it's going to be a face mask penalty against the Irish.
So again, here comes the play again.
Fast, faster, fastest.
Yeah, that's. They say play with your hair on fire.
5-yard face mask on the defense. Replay. Second down.
Yeah, indeed, good call. Very good call, and a good play by Lewis again to avoid the sack, get rid of the ball. There's the blitzer Elam. Look at all the plays come in from the sideline. The regular, see all the skilled guys looking over the sideline, and he has about there's 21 seconds still left on the play clock, and he can look over and get an audible.
There's the play clock, still with plenty of time. Option. Pitch to Coburn. Coburn uses his blocker. He has a first down. Coburn smashing his way inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Jason Beckstrom held his ground, was able to get a piece. But once again, Coburn breaks a big one. This one 24 yards.
Yeah, some real good blocking up here in the front. And they keep getting these little seams. Wide receiver blocks. If the wide receiver blocks, your 5-yard runs turn into 15 or 20. He's already over 100 yards in rushing.
109 yards on 6 carries for Avon Coburn, who has his 14th 100-yard rushing game. Here's Smith. Cassell Smith with a good run for the Mountaineers. Shane Walton forces him out of bounds. There's a penalty marker on the play. Bob Davie thinks it's a hold against West Virginia.
So Rich Rodriguez has a good scheme going right now. The 4 wideouts, you eliminate 4 defenders right away, covering those guys. And then you got some pretty good runners in both Smith and Coburn to be able to make it happen. Ken Sandor, the left guard, number 58. Terrific block by Sandor on that one.
But the holding call against the
Holding
Mountaineers.
on the offensive team. 10-yard penalty. Spot of the foul. Replay first down.
So now the players check in again with the sideline.
Yeah, see, everybody looks over there. Except the offensive line, they just listen to the quarterback. And he gives them the pass protection, or if it's a run call. But there really is no snap count. You'll see him go back and then he'll lift his leg. Or when he claps, this is when he's in shotgun. When he claps, that means to the center, hey, I'm ready to have you send the ball to me.
4 wide receivers, Braxton, Abraham, Brown, and Terry. Cassell Smith, the only running back, standing next to the quarterback, Brad Lewis. He's in the shotgun.
The referee's blocking up the clap. I see he just clapped right there.
And there's the snap. Quick pass behind the receiver who never looked, Braxton. That was a mix-up. I don't think he knew what the play was. He never looked back. He was approaching Vontez Duff as if to block him.
Yeah, absolutely. Rich Rodriguez, he said it's a little frustrating, this offense. There's so much to it. There's so many layers to it. And he said, hey, all my guys are like freshmen. And we just haven't quite gotten it yet. It hasn't clicked in. He ran it at Tulane when he was assistant there with Tommy Bowden, 12-0. Then he was an assistant at Clemson. Had some great quarterback there in Woody Dantzler.
Second down and 16 from the Irish 29. Draw play, Smith. Smith shook a tackler, still on his feet. Down to the 15-yard line, still a couple of yards short of the first down. Justin Smith finally made the tackle, but Cassell Smith, the sophomore from Staten Island, New York, with a big run.
You know, watch this block here. Again, it's Ken Sandor. Just kind of invites his guy upfield on the little draw play. The interesting thing, good running, but really good offensive line play thus far in this game.
Smith, his knee wasn't down. He spun off the would-be tacklers and got more. Fake it to him. Lewis for the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Brown, defended by Walton.
That'll be a good matchup. Shane Walton and Antonio Brown. Brown plays their slot receiver, and Shane Walton will be on the slot guy, really covering a man-for-man most of the day.
So on 4th down, Brendan Rao is in to attempt a 33-yard field goal. He's hit 7 of 9 field goals this season, his longest 41. This one 33 to tie the game. High snap. Kick is up. And the kick is good.
Good job by the snapper. I mean, the holder.
The holder, Nastasi, got it down.
That's the lines of both teams.
Todd Jones with the kickoff. Jones and Duff, the deep man. This will be Julius Jones. Fumble. Picks it up at the 10. And still on his feet, just tackled by the shoe tops at the 30-yard line. As the tackle made by Lance Frazier with help from Brian King. Well, this game, West Virginia and Notre Dame, the on-field game almost overshadowed by a controversy involving former Notre Dame student Cooper Rigo, who is now a running back for West Virginia.
Yeah, it was really about his return to the Notre Dame campus. 1998, Rigo was dismissed from the university after a student affairs hearing. And as part of that hearing, there was an alleged rape he committed. He was never charged with that crime, no prosecution. We'll finish this story in a moment.
First down run by Julius Jones, about 5 yards, tackled by Caden.
So as we said, no charges ever filed against Rigo. But when you leave Notre Dame in those kind of circumstances, you're not allowed to come back on the campus, or you'll be arrested for trespassing. And that's what Notre Dame said to the West Virginia authorities. They said, if you bring Cooper Rigo here, we will arrest him. And after a lot of back and forth negotiations, finally, Thursday afternoon, Rigo issued a press release and said he would not attend, but he still claimed his innocence.
Carlisle Holiday with a quarterback draw, picking his way downfield and spun down short of midfield by Rick Sherrod.
This is a much different Irish offense than we have seen in their first 4 games. Don't you think, Tom?
Yes.
I mean, they're even throwing the ball a little bit more efficiently. They've thrown it, downfield almost for long completion. Holiday looks a lot more confident. He has got good change of direction, doesn't he? He's like a running back.
Yeah.
And, they want 25, 30% of the rushing yards to come from the quarterback, and he is just absolutely growing as a runner and developing as a passer.
54 yards as you check the other scores. The Irish seem to be much more confident, not as tentative as they were when they had that 0-3 record and were questioning themselves and being questioned by the fans who were all over Bob Davie and the players and everyone else, and they just seem much more confident now. And it's amazing what a little success will do for you. And granted, Pittsburgh and West Virginia aren't as good as Nebraska and Michigan State and Texas A&M.
Yeah, and they have the Irish have a favorable part of the schedule. They play USC next week. They're struggling as well, and so they have a chance to end up having a pretty good and pretty strong season.
But right now they're locked in a 10-10 tie with West Virginia, and still 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Play action fake. Holiday looks downfield and sends it for Hunter and overshoots his man. It's incomplete. Bryant was with him step for step, and Sherrod is coming over from that free safety spot.
Well, Tom, that's okay. That'll pay dividends as this season goes along. I mean, they're sending the message, no longer can you just squat on our wide receivers at 8 to 10 yards. They've thrown 2 deep balls, 1 nearly caught. This was a pretty good throw. It was not going to be intercepted, as it was a good throw by Holiday. So it's as much a message as anything else.
Both down the field long pass attempts have come on 2nd and long. It's now 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Jenkins, Gibbons, and Hunter, 3 wide receivers in the game. Holiday, good protection for Hunter. Flag is down, and it's incomplete.
Here's help.
Can you imagine the ribbon he took?
Oh, he did. He took a lot of it.
He was blindfolded, had on some flip-flops, and stumbled, and ended up doing the splits and hurting himself.
Well, the Irish had their own problems. There's, as you see, Sean Hackett. But see number 60 there, Daryl Campbell. He is an engineering major, and he was hurt in engineering class. Had a spasm in his neck. Had to be carried out of the classroom. So it's rough in class at these 2 universities. Wow. How about being a coach and you say, you get a report your strong safety just pulled his hamstring in theater class?
It makes it worse. It's theater class.
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine what his teammates said? 2nd down and 5 after Jones carried on 1st down. Option. Holiday keeps, cuts up, uses his blocker, cuts it back, and is trapped by Cedric Lewis, who was trailing the play. Rodimer and Curtin with the blocks to spring him for 14 yards.
You mentioned Curtin, good offensive line play by the tackle here, and the wide receiver does his job. 63 is Curtin. Tight end block. Watch up here, Rodimer number 18. Just kind of stalking. They call that stock block. But smart, disciplined play by Holiday. Didn't rush it. Very, very patient. The band likes it. Most of the Irish fans like it.
Holiday with 5 carries, 68 yards. That one for 14. The play is stopped. Hard to believe we still have a minute left in the first quarter.
You know, I think it's been a pretty good game, not necessarily bad defense or poor defense. I think we've seen some good special teams, good offensive line play, some good running, good runs by both teams as well. Kind of fun.
Well, I'm not sure what is going on as Penn Wagers comes to the bench. Perhaps something with the clock. I talked about the pretty good offense. Total yards all even, 141 apiece.
I just sensed that, Tom. He's a former high school football player. I'm talking about the referee, Penn Wagers.
With a minute to go in the first quarter. Now they're winding some of that time off the clock. Well, this Monday night at 8/7 Central, don't miss a special 2-hour third watch featuring the real-life heroes of September 11th. That's an all-new special episode of Third Watch, Monday night at 8/7 Central here on NBC.
You know, yesterday I was walking around the Notre Dame campus. They had a memorial mass yesterday for all the fallen in New York, and New York actually sent some firemen and some policemen here for the ceremony this year. It was pretty moving.
They reset the clock, which continues to roll. First down play from the West Virginia 22. Option again, and Holiday again keeps. He's inside the 20-yard line down to about the 18. James Davis wrapped him up there.
James Davis, number 1 for West Virginia. He plays what they call a stud position, which is like a defensive end. This is a guy that can get after you. Last year against East Carolina, he sacked the East Carolina quarterback 3 times in 1 drive. I mean, this guy is absolutely fearless, flies all over the field.
Leads them in sacks this year with 3, and can you imagine having to live up to the position name?
The stud.
Call you the stud. You better be one. And that's the final second as it ticks off the clock to end the first quarter. An offense-filled first quarter at Notre Dame Stadium. It's the Irish 10 and the Mountaineers 10. We'll return to Notre Dame after these messages from your local NBC station.
Hi, I'm Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I took a lot of pride in putting the flag on the helmet. My dad's a longtime veteran in the New York City Fire Department, and his house especially took a hard hit. They lost 19 men from the firehouse, and it was tough for me and my family, and it's still pretty tough for my dad and the brothers at the firehouse. And it's great that we can show the colors of the United States of America and our support for the families in New York City. I pray for my dad every day, and I wish him the best. Love you, Dad.
All right, RJ, thanks. That's right. It's college and pro sports way of helping the nation heal and showing a display of patriotism here in South Bend and all over the country, guys.
All right, thank you, Matt. As we learned what real heroes are.
Absolutely.
That was a pass for Gary Godsey, incomplete.
Well, the tight end, that was a pass to the tight end. And Notre Dame is doing everything, right? They only have 1 completion to the tight end this year, so they're trying to really do a few more things. Throw the ball to the tight end, get the ball downfield, and if they're ever going to have a good offense, they're going to have to do those things successfully.
West Virginia blitzing on 3rd and 7. Holiday's pass in the tip and intercepted by Bryant. Bryant with the interception at the West Virginia 5-yard line off the hands of Javen Hunter as Holiday scrambled under the blitz pressure. And another Irish turnover.
Yeah, Corey McIntyre, number 34, again, kind of subbing, was really putting some heat on, as was that Kyle Caden, I believe, inside. Yeah, Caden, good time, just kind of sucks up the block and allows McIntyre. Sometimes one blitzer is in charge of kind of sucking up the blocks and letting the other blitzer really apply the pressure.
What looked like the Irish were in good position at least to get a field goal, but they turned the ball over.
Yeah, no turnovers last week, 2 so far today.
West Virginia converted the last one into a field goal. They start at their own 5 from the shotgun. Brad Lewis, and play is stopped.
Well, you know, they run this hurry-up offense. I don't know how they run out of the clock.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, after this is 2 goals, replay first down.
Yeah, he's asking, Rich Rodriguez has to do reset. I mean, they generally snap the ball with 15 seconds left. Now, I didn't see it running down.
So half the distance to the goal now at their 2.5-yard line. Lewis from his own end zone. Down the sideline. And incomplete. Intended for Braxton.
Another play, Tom, where Lewis had him. I mean, I think as a quarterback, sometimes you're anxious when you're in your own end zone. I mean, sometimes you throw it. You don't want to get caught for that safety, and you rush yourself a little bit. And I think perhaps Brad Lewis rushed himself a little bit. There really wasn't a big pass rush, but he had Braxton open for a long play.
Should he have put a little air under it and let him run it?
Yeah.
Second down. Handoff to Colburn. Avon's back in the game and got only a yard or so short of the 5-yard line.
This is a big down for West Virginia. Right? 3rd and 11, and if you're the quarterback, Brad Lewis, first things first, don't turn the ball over. Don't take the sack. Don't turn the ball over. But try to get one of those talented wide receivers you have on a man-for-man route.
3rd and 11. Lewis under pressure, unloads, incomplete.
Bob Davie saying intentional grounding, but I think Brad Lewis was outside of the pocket.
It was close.
Once you pass that tackle, you can get rid of the ball. Again, he's going to roll out here. These guys running the wheel. That's Brown running the wheel. But again, Brad Lewis says, I'm not going to take, he's worried about the safety. That's a good decision by Brad Lewis.
So Todd James to punt from his own end zone to Julius Jones. Straight up in the air, not a good punt. Does take a West Virginia bounce and a big one. Better to be lucky sometimes as it goes inside the 45-yard line. It goes in the books as a 52-yard punt. I don't know how much of it was in the air, but
I think about 7.
And don't forget, tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, NASCAR Winston Cup Racing returns to NBC with the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2 from Martinsville, Virginia. And following NASCAR Gravity Games coverage continues the high-flying freestyle motocross final, all tomorrow beginning at 12 noon Eastern here on NBC. So the turnover perhaps cost Notre Dame a chance to score, but it didn't cost them any points as West Virginia has to punt. Now the Irish have it at their own 44-yard line. Holiday, I'm not sure if that was a called quarterback draw or whether he just decided to keep it, but he's tackled by Kyle Caden after a gain of about 5.
I think it was. It was a second quarterback draw. Sean Mahan, number 79 for the Irish. Again, he is this guard right here, does a good job. Mahan just kind of buries his guy, but that was the second quarterback draw we've seen. We've seen them run, 3 or 4 options, throwing the ball downfield, throwing the ball to tight end. Now, they haven't been terribly successful throwing the ball, but they're trying some things they haven't tried the first 4 games.
Turnovers their last 2 possessions after they had scored in their first 2. Option play, and the pitch is to Jones, and Julius Jones is tackled by Lewis Daniels right at the first down marker. It's going to be very close. And so close they will call the chains across the field to Major.
I was talking to the officials before the game about the chain crew because West Virginia runs so many quick plays. Rich Rodriguez is worried about how fast the chain crew is, and they
time them in the 40.
Yeah, exactly. They in shape and all those. But actually, the guys who carry the chains are appointed from Notre Dame. But the Big East officials really control how quickly they get the chain set.
And the Mountaineer is cheering the defense, who has held Notre Dame just a few inches short of the first down. 10-10 game with 13 minutes left in the second quarter.
The shot of that Mountaineer, he had whatever that was on his hat. I read an article about him. He's going to become a vet. And do vets wear those kind of things on their head? Those animals? They're supposed to take care of them.
You wouldn't want to send your dog to him if that's the case.
I think his father's a veterinarian. I believe he's going to be a veterinarian when he finishes school. I'm reading too many articles, all right?
Got the coonskin cap. Would you get you one of those? Wishbone looking backfield, and the handoff is to Fisher, and he has the first down. Tackled just short of the 40-yard line by Rick Sherrod.
Yeah, good surge by the offensive line again. I mean, the offensive linemen, this Notre Dame offensive line, as well as West Virginia, they're in a rhythm. Quarterbacks may or may not be throwing the ball, but these offensive linemen are. 3rd and 1, good lead block by Jason Murray as well. Those are the kind of plays offensive linemen like to run over and over again tomorrow in the tape session.
Owens and Godsey, 2 tight ends, I formation in the backfield. Option play, pitch to Jones. Jones pass up to the sideline and spun down by McIntyre just short of the first down marker.
We talk about good offensive line play. How about Kurt Vollers, number 75, the right tackle, the Servite High School in Cal. He's got a pretty big appetite.
What is a 300-pounder?
Yeah, it was 320. But how about breakfast? 6 eggs, bagel, toast, you know, all the trimmings, a couple of iced teas, and lunch is pretty good too, Tom.
Is that right? 3 pounds of burritos for lunch?
There's a garbage burritos. He goes right here in South Bend for garbage burritos. And then dinner, he kind of finishes off a little steak.
But is not a big dessert.
Not a big dessert.
What about his pregame meal?
You know, he cannot eat on pregame meals. He has 5 Diet Cokes. What a fumble?
Jones fumbled. It looks like he got it back. Let's see. Turnovers have stopped the Irish their last 2 possessions. They've moved the ball, but an interception and a fumble the last 2 possessions. Hackett was the tackler on Jones, who lost it for a moment.
And Sean Hackett, number 10, I think, comes into this picture off the corner. And here he is. Boom, yeah, helmet right on the ball. It did come loose, but Jones was able to recover it.
And get a first down to boot. It's first down from the West Virginia 30. Jones. Wow. Picks his way for about a yard before he is hit hard by Sean Hackett.
Sean Hackett.
I wouldn't mention that theater class to him.
Well, in his position, they call it whip in his position. And, you know, you watch ball carriers' heads, and they seem to go back when he hits them. One of those guys that, you know, really is passionate about the game, thinks about it in the morning when he wakes up all day long and dreams about it at night. Big family here. I think he has 30 family members here at the game.
Holiday scrambling to the 20-yard line. I think he has a first down. James Davis caught him from behind. Maybe just a little short of the first down where they spot it shy of the 20-yard line.
Well, hustling saves a lot of touchdowns. And James Davis, he was the one rushing.
One thing about Carlisle Holiday, he really doesn't stay with the pass very long. If he sees it's not there, he doesn't give it a chance much to develop. He's ready to run at any time.
Well, I think he has so much confidence in his legs, Tom, that they don't, you know, if he's unsure, he is going to run it. You know, he's only a freshman. As he develops, they hope to get him breaking of that habit.
Freshman football-wise, of course, and sophomore class-wise. Jones stopped by David Upchurch in his tracks. Loss of 1.
We're talking about eating. I had breakfast with David Upchurch this week, number 95 of, there he is, nose tackle, and he could put it away. I mean, he had steak and eggs with pancake chasers.
He put Jones away that time, and it's 4th down and less than a yard, and Notre Dame's going to go for it. Full house wishbone backfield, tight formation for the Irish with 2 tight ends. Holiday hands to Fisher. And Fisher, who is the toughest runner the Irish has, will be close to the first down. McIntyre hit him almost immediately, but he needed less than a yard, and he has it.
You said Tony Fisher is the toughest runner. I agree. And Tony Fisher is an unselfish guy, has never complained here in his Notre Dame that he's had a share of the starring role as a tailback. He's a great special teams player. I'm talking about going down and covering punts. Catches the ball well. You know, he's getting his chance. He had a big rushing day against Michigan State, as you can see. But this is an unselfish and a very good play. A former Mr. Ohio.
Out of the game now. Jones returns at tailback behind Murray. Option. Holiday pitching. Jones gets a block from Murray. And jumps to the 14-yard line. McIntyre was over there, and then Caden came over to finish him off. But he used his blocker, Jason Murray, well.
And as this year wears on for the Irish, their ability to run this option is really going to be critical because they're never going to be a dominant passing team, Tom. You know, they're never going to throw it like Florida or Florida State. So they're going to get some big plays on the perimeter via the option. And that's where it's going to happen. And this is the most I've ever seen them pitch the ball.
Well, I thought these teams were going to score 60 the way they started the game, but a long drive here, the 11th play coming up by Notre Dame. The turnovers have stopped in the last two, and we're tied at 10. Holiday beats on the option to the 9-yard line with Angel Estrada hanging on to get him down.
Pretty strong, isn't he, Holiday? 6'3", yeah, 218 pounds. See the wristbands he wears there. He has 30 plays on the right, 30 plays on the left. Kevin Rogers, the offensive coordinator, calls them down, and they signal them in to him.
Here's what he's done, passing and rushing. And, of course, when he was at San Antonio Roosevelt High School, the all-around athlete, passed for 1,700, rushed for 1,800, was a 4-year basketball starter, and all-district, averaged 10 points and 7 rebounds, scored over 1,000 basketball points. And just as you say, learning the game really at the college level, but has the athletic ability. Just short of the first down, as you saw.
It's a journey. You know, becoming a really good Division I quarterback is a journey, and there's some twists and turns. It's not a, you know, a super highway, and he's getting there. He's making progress.
Third down, less than a yard. With the ball just inside the West Virginia 10. And 10 is the operative number here. 10-10 game. 8 minutes, 39 seconds, second quarter. Wishbone backfield. Bouncing off one tackler and is stopped, I believe, short of the first down. Richard Bryant from a corner. But got help from the center of the defense with Corey McIntyre there.
Corey McIntyre just absolutely destroyed the fullback. I mean, unbelievable play.
And McIntyre injured on the play.
And he's filling in for Grant Wiley, as we said. McIntyre has played well in his place the last few weeks, but boy, he just ran right into Jason Murray. Again, he's right here.
Hey.
I mean, that's what the fullback's supposed to do, just kind of fill the hole, and indeed he did.
And then Bryant finished off Fisher, and McIntyre still injured. He's from Indiantown, Florida, South Fork High School. There's a running back and a linebacker in high school. There's Wiley, Grant Wiley, the other linebacker. And McIntyre already has graduated, has a BA in physical education, working on his master's in coaching education at West Virginia University. And they look pretty good as he hopped up there. So McIntyre leaves the game, and he's replaced by Adam Leonard, a redshirt freshman from Oil City, Pennsylvania.
10 tackles today, and he was also the one that put the heat on Holiday that caused the tip ball and the interception. So he's had a very good first half.
Here's another fourth down play for the Irish. Fourth down, less than a yard to go. They converted one on the last series of downs. And they've been good on fourth down conversions all season. First and goal inside the 5. Leonard, who replaced McIntyre, made the touchdown-saving tackle, but the Irish convert another fourth down and have it first and goal just inside the 5-yard line.
And Kurt Vollers, the offensive right tackle, did a great job, and he's the one. He's right in here. Watch these guys come down and clear that hole. And the fullback cleans out. So Vollers and Sean Milligan on the right side, again, opening up a nice hole on a fourth and short.
Murray is the fullback here. Fisher and Jones the running backs. Now Fisher sets on a wing to the left and goes in motion. To the 1-yard line, Rick Sherrod with the tackle.
Kevin Rogers, I think he's sensing that his right side of the offensive line, Kurt Vollers, and as is Bob Davey, the head coach, the offensive line, that right side in particular, Vollers, Milligan, John Owens, the tight end, when they put him on that side, they are doing a very good job of not only engaging defenders, but knocking them back 2 yards.
No mistakes, Bob Davey says from the sideline, as the Irish, with this long drive, the 15th play coming up, it's second and goal from the 1. Fisher again is in motion. not in.
And who do you think he ran right behind that time?
Ball, yeah. They say touchdown.
Ordinarily, fullbacks lead running backs in, but I thought he ran right behind number 75, Kurt Vollers. You see 75 right there, just kind of clearing the way. Both shoulders. Good offensive series.
They had to unstack them before they could see if the football had broken the plane of the goal line, and indeed it had for Julius Jones. Jones has now rushed for 4 touchdowns this season. Extra point by Nick Setta. His attempt is up, and it is good. Julius Jones with a tough 1-yard run. A 15-play drive, all on the ground. Just what Bob Davie ordered deep. And Sean Terry will down it in the end zone, and the Mountaineers will take over at their own 20.
Yeah, and those statistics you just cited, that's what Rich Rodriguez's offense is supposed to do. They're supposed to control the number of plays, the pace of the game, and they just have not gotten it going. Brad Lewis, only 2 of 8 on the day. And there's a guy who's done a lot of the damage.
Miami all over Florida State, as you saw, and Nebraska having a little tussle with Baylor so far. The Bears hanging there within a touchdown. First down for the Mountaineers. Brad Lewis has gone all the way at quarterback.
He called an audible, still had 15 seconds left in the clock.
Here's the option, and Lewis will tuck it under and get a tough yard or 2. Tario Harrison was the first to arrive on the scene.
Talks a little bit about Rich Rodriguez and what he likes out of his quarterback. Ideally, his quarterback is a second runner, even though it's a one-back set. And when he had Sean King at Tulane, and then he had Woody Dantzler at Clemson, that's what he had. Now, it's not necessarily a strength of Brad Lewis. Brad Lewis is more of a pocket passer.
Red formation, Braxton, Abraham, Brown, and Terry, 4 wide receivers. On the shotgun, Lewis. Slant, complete to Braxton, and Braxton has a West Virginia first down to the 36-yard line. Vontez Duff and others, but a gain of 12 and a West Virginia first down.
Yeah, a good design. 3 receivers to the far side. He was over here by himself. Lots of room to run the slant, and if you throw it on time and out in front of him, you can do something with the ball after the catch, which he did there.
Braxton, leading receiver for the Mountaineers on the season, a former defensive back. And off to Coburn. Coburn continues his tough running as he rips off about 8 yards. Glenn Earl forced to make the tackle.
Well, he has 118 yards, and I think it's all in the same run. I mean, that little inside slant. I mean, they spread it out, give it to him. That's part of the design, you know, create some holes just by the look at the possession time. I mean, again, West Virginia, up until this point, that is their game. They're trying to run more plays, possess the ball, wear you down.
Big disparity, and only Notre Dame has stopped Notre Dame today. With 2 turnovers. Direction to Lewis. He just didn't look comfortable there. Contrast that with the way Carlisle Holiday sets off. Hilliard the tackle.
Like an octopus falling out of a tree.
Really? Give me a moment just to picture that.
It's, when you said not comfortable, that's, again, he did pick up the first down. Again, if he gets a little better block there by a center, Zach Dillow, indeed, he has a chance maybe to pick it up another 8-9 yards.
Well, he got the job done, picked up the first down, and advanced the ball to the Mountaineer 48. Lewis handing to Coburn. Hit in the backfield, falls forward to the line of scrimmage. Rocky Boydman.
You know, we talk so much about West Virginia's offense. Look at Notre Dame's defense as well. Everybody's looking to the sideline. They don't huddle either. I mean, and when you're playing against this no-huddle, fast-paced attack of West Virginia, you don't have a chance. So they're all looking in to the sidelines to their respective coaches for signals. Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator, who's sending those in.
It's 2nd and 10. 5 wide receivers set, empty backfield. Lewis drills it complete, a diving reception made by Braxton. Just a yard short of the first down. He had plenty of room to pick up the first down if the pass had not been low.
Yeah, Tom, just what I was saying. Nice completion, but, nice completion, but. Because they had 5 wide receivers, there was nobody in the middle of the field. I'd come back to this play, as a matter of fact. If he gets that up, Braxton runs away from everybody. There was nobody there. A quick snap on 3rd and 1 gets him the first.
To the Irish 40-yard line. Brad Lewis on the day, Pat, just 4 of 10 for 40 yards.
And even some of the ones that he's completed been a little bit off the mark. There's Rich Rodriguez again, and was a walk-on in 1982 at West Virginia and has a soft spot in his heart for all walk-ons. Has about 50 on his team.
First down play for the Mountaineers. 3.5 minutes to go till halftime. Draw play. Lewis tries to cut to the outside and will be driven out of bounds. Maybe got 3 or 4 yards. Watson and Beckstrom made sure he went out. And near the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Mountaineers hanging with the Irish on the scoreboard as they have the 9th play of their drive coming up. They trail by 7, but driving.
Yeah, they need a long drive because their defense has been on the field way too much.
But Coburn out at a wide receiver spot now. 5 of them in this spread formation all the way across the field.
This time they changed it up to a 3-man front, though.
They were calling for a timeout. Antonio Brown was signaling for a timeout before the snap.
Well, you know,
let's see, he got it, I guess. Timeout, West Virginia.
You know, I'll get back.
So West Virginia, all right. We'll check with you when we come back. I'm sure it was a great thought. 7-point game.
Will not be afraid of the dark.
I will feel better about my dad living by himself.
I will know my children are safe.
I will finally be able to relax!
ADT's advanced home monitoring helps protect more Americans than any other security company from burglary, fire, flood, even carbon monoxide. Call now and get ADT's sophisticated burglary system installed from $99. You could also save up to 20% off your basic homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
Naturally, we do everything we can to protect what we have. But we also recognize the need for growth. And we know that with growth comes risk. What's important is finding the right balance.
Careful.
That's what we do best at Prudential Financial.
Got it.
We help you find the right balance in your financial life. Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth.
This was the last play. They were trying to run the same play again, but the safeties are right in the middle of the field, and so they called timeout. I mean, it was a good chess match, good adjustment by Notre Dame because Rich Rodriguez was trying to come right back to that slant pattern, expecting no free safety.
So the 9th play of the drive coming up. It's 2nd down and 7 for West Virginia from the Irish 37. And they hand it off to Coburn. Coburn has the first down. Blasts his way down to the 25-yard line. And Justin Smith stops him there. Coburn continues his good running. They spread the field and give it to their big running back. He gets 11.
Boy, he is strong inside, isn't he? I mean, and he's consistent. He's had 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons working on his third. And just a little inside run following Tim Brown.
And already has his 14th 100-yard game. He's gained 130 yards. Here he is again. And that time the Irish were ready for it. Stopped him for a loss. Hilliard was the man that broke it up for the Irish.
Cedric Hilliard, number 50, a guy that we saw last week beginning to come on for the Irish, giving them some good inside defensive tackle play, which they didn't have early in the season, but Hilliard's coming on.
See the other scores? Alabama and Mississippi in the close one. Rice defeats Navy. 2nd down and 12 for West Virginia. Bad snap. Lewis falls on it.
Well, you know, that maybe takes you out of field goal range. Potentially. Now, they still have 3rd down coming up, but boy, that's a bad time to miss a snap. when he claps it when he's ready. Now, this is Zach Dillow, the snapper. He had some problems in training camp getting the ball back to the center. He hadn't had any problems during the regular season. But early in the year, they were worried about him getting the ball in the shotgun formation. I think they need at least, 6-7 yards to have a reasonable field goal attempt.
5 wide receivers. One of them is the running back, Colburn. Lewis with plenty of time now breaks down, and he's taken down at the 40-yard line. That's another loss on the play. It'll go in the books as a sack with Campbell and Boyman.
Boy, that is the old coverage sack because, boy, as you said, Tom, plenty of time. Good hand to hand. The receivers doing a great job. The defensive backs, great job of getting their hands on the receivers. Nobody there. Man underneath with 2 deep defensive backs.
And Rocky Boyman will get credit for the Notre Dame sack. And the Irish take a timeout with 1:36 left in the second quarter.
But you know that poor snap really took them right out of field goal position. Potentially cost them 3 points.
Well, 1:36 remaining, and coming up at halftime, we'll have, as always, the Sun America halftime report, but it will originate from here in South Bend with today's college football scores, and we'll also hear from the West Virginia and Notre Dame bands and have a preview of the Old Dominion 500 NASCAR event coming up on NBC tomorrow. So that's all coming up from the Sun America halftime report, originating here at the stadium. As you may know if you've been following the news, normally we would return to our studios at Rockefeller Plaza in New York City, but those studios have been closed this weekend after an NBC News employee contracted anthrax. So with that development, the studios at NBC in New York are closed, and our halftime show will originate from here at Notre Dame. So Notre Dame taking the timeout, their first timeout of this half.
No, Rich Rodriguez, is he actually thinking about going for this? It's 4th down and what? 4th and 23. If he turns it over, I mean, he gives the Irish a very short field with 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, Lewis is lined up, ready to go. 2 running backs here. Colburn, and then he's going to punt it.
That's a nice little call.
Yep, it is a nice call. They'll be able to down it deep.
Excellent. Fantastic.
At the 3-yard line, 37-yard punt, and punt of the season down it at the 3-yard line. Fisher stopped by Grant Wiley, who's in the game now for West Virginia after McIntyre was shaken up earlier.
You know, watch right here, number 58. This is Ken Sandor, and number 19. You got to have your head on a swivel, because if you don't pay attention, boy, you're going to take shots like that. That was Glenn Earl who took that beating.
And now West Virginia calls a timeout. Stops the clock with 1:15.
Excuse me, Tom. Last week, remember, Notre Dame had that 99-yard drive in a similar kind of circumstance.
Coming up on NBC.
NBC Sunday.
She was pregnant?
How far would a son go to please mommy dearest? You know who killed her. Law & Order Criminal Intent. NBC Sunday.
That's coming up tomorrow. Law & Order Criminal Intent on NBC. The Mountaineers have 1 timeout remaining and 1:15 on the clock. They have Notre Dame backed up at the Irish 6. Interesting that through the season, the only man that had punted for the Mountaineers was Mark Fazzolari, and from the outset today, they went with Todd James, and now the quarterback Lewis boots one.
Yeah, his very first punt of the year, and that little pooch. It was a terrific call, but we were surprised that the regular punter has not punted at all. Again, this is, we talk about the journey of becoming a Division I quarterback. Carlisle Holiday has to understand the circumstance of the game. 1:15 remaining. His team is up by 7 points. I mean, you don't want to get too conservative, but don't turn the ball over.
McIntyre back in the game for West Virginia as Fisher gets the call.
Sean Hackett again. Wow.
And timeout. Mountaineers, their final timeout. Sean Hackett, number 10. Well, it's football season right in the middle of the campaign, but hoops not too far away. This was Moonlight Madness at Notre Dame. Mike Bray, the Irish men's coach, and Muffet McGraw, the women's coach, as the Notre Dame women, the defending NCAA champions. And the hoop sport officially underway as practice begins prior to the upcoming season.
I think a lot of people stayed for that and then came to the game, got no sleep.
I hadn't thought about that.
That'd make a pretty full
For
house.
the looks of some of them in the tailgating, perhaps so.
You're right.
And they were a little wet by the time they got into the stadium, too, as the tailgating went on in full force here on Parents Weekend, the alumni family game, the West Virginia game, and the tailgating went on despite a steady rain.
Delicate call here, I think, for the Irish, and I will be surprised if Holiday doesn't keep this ball in some form or fashion, either on an option or a quarterback draw or some designed quarterback run. It's 3rd and about 6. And for West Virginia, what they're trying to do is get a quick stop and force the punt.
Notre Dame came into the game as one of the lowest ranking offenses in all of college football, and they put up over 200 yards and 17 points so far in the game.
Here's the quarterback draw.
Slipped and never got going, and it's narrowly averting a really bad situation. He gets it back down to the between the 1 and 2. It looks like James Davis, number 1, was on him. David Upchurch was there, and now with 49 and counting, the Irish will have to punt from their own end zone.
That just kind of took a little too long to get going. You saw him slip, even though they've changed their cleats. And now for Notre Dame, ordinarily your punter gets 15 yards. He's going to have less than 15 yards right now, probably about 12 or 13. So they have a special tight formation, which they try to do.
Joey Hillbold's first punt of the game.
Yeah, which means your coverage is not as good. They're going to use a timeout.
So Notre Dame takes a timeout, and the clock stops with 24 seconds.
That's a good timeout. Absolutely be sure what you want to do.
So Hillbold, who ranks among the leading punters in the United States, 9th coming in, averaging 45.2 yards a kick, and will have his first punt. The Irish, the only time they haven't scored today, they turned it over twice. So this is his first punt, and it's a pressure-packed one in the closing seconds of the first half.
Yeah, and it's not one of those punts where you can take your normal rhythm either, you know, Tom, because again, he's backed up, and this is one he has to get off a little bit quicker. I've seen actually punters in this situation, believe it or not, punt the ball into the up back, right into the rear end of the up back. It's like bad for a punter.
If you're Rich Rodriguez, do you come after him, or do you
I think you return. I think you've got a good field goal kicker. I think you're going to get good field position. I think you set up a return.
There's Rich Rodriguez, the first-year coach of the Mountaineers. He sends Lance Frazier back to receive the Hillbold punt. Hillbold will stand right at the end of his end zone. If he goes out of it, of course, it's a safety.
Lance Frazier is deep, and Joey Hillbold in punt formation.
His hands are going to be dry.
Send it away. Low line drive. Takes a Notre Dame bounce.
Turned out all right.
He'll be down at about the 42-yard line. A 38-yard punt under pressure by Joey Hillbold.
13 seconds remaining, and West Virginia needs to get to about the 25-yard line of Notre Dame to give their kicker, Brendan Rao, a shot at what would tie his career long of 41 yards. So they can get that ball down to about the 25-yard line.
Well, they should be masters of the hurry-up.
You know, as we said, they haven't really thrown the ball well in this first half, only 39 yards passing.
13 seconds left. Notre Dame leads by 7. Closing seconds of the first half. Lewis with a roll, sets his feet, and is in trouble. And he'll be sacked back at midfield by Ryan Roberts. And that'll end the first half. So the Irish, with an uncharacteristic offensive explosion, over 200 yards in the first half, have a 7-point lead over West Virginia, 17-10. Let's go down to Matt Vasgersian.
Coach Rodriguez, you told us before the game that we might be seeing some depth at your quarterback position, considering Brad Lewis has had a tough first half. Do you plan on exploring that depth in the second half?
Well, he's made a pretty good decision. He didn't make one right there. He should have threw the ball, but he's executing the run game, making the right looks to that sort. But he's got to start throwing a little bit better, and we got to get the ball in better field position and put a few scores together.
Is he the right guy for the hurry-up offense? Do you have other candidates to run your offense on the sidelines?
I think so. He's been the best guy in practice, and we got a couple other guys that if Brad's not going to do well, not executing, and we need a spark, we'll put Derek Jones in the game.
Coach, thanks. Good luck in the second half. Tom, Pat, back to you guys.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. So at halftime, Notre Dame leads West Virginia 17-10. We'll be back with the Sun America halftime report shortly. But first, let's check in with the latest from NBC News as we join John Siegenthaler.
Here's deep. That'll be Duck.
Duck from the 10.
Big pass play.
They did attempt a double.
Yes. 2 long ones.
Their longest pass of the first half completed was 13 yards. 4 wide receivers set here on first down. They start from their own 16. Hand off to Tony Fisher. Fisher cutting back and making a good run of it. Got about 6 yards. Rick Sherrod and David Upchurch.
I tell you one thing. If you're scouting Notre Dame, on first down, boy, they sure like to run the ball. You see their possessions there in the first half, and 3 double-digit possessions there, which again is a bright sign if you're an Irish fan. They haven't really done much of that, but now they've had 18 first down plays this game. 17 of those have been runs.
It again is to Tony Fisher, and this time Kyle Caden got right in the backfield to stop him in his tracks.
Kyle Caden said to us this week, hey, we've got to play good first down defense, then second down defense, and force them into passing downs. And what is exactly what he did with that tackle. Fisher trying to cut back sliding, but force them into what would appear to be a passing down, although Holiday is so good with his feet. Oftentimes they run quarterback draws.
Turf, big divots of it coming loose. That was the 5th tackle for a loss by Caden this season. It sets up a 3rd and 6. 2 wide receiver set. Carlisle Holiday scrambling and stopped short of the first down by Jason Davis.
Nice play by Jason Davis, because the first thing what Jason Davis is doing is rushing outside, trying to get upfield. And as soon as he feels that pocket, he's going to come over here. Here he is. He sees it now. He comes back inside. So he's upfield trying to beat the tackle to the outside, and then swims back inside to make the sack.
You think Holiday gives up on the pass too soon?
I think so, yes.
Hillbold will punt for Notre Dame. Lance Frazier is deep. High snap, pulled down by Hillbold. Nice punt. Kind of a low line drive affair though, and takes a backwards bounce. Well, not good as it turned out. It'll be down after only 26 yards at the Notre Dame 49-yard line. Well, that one looked good when it started and kept getting worse by the minute. And punting into a wind, the wind really held it up. And then it took a backwards bounce to boot. So good field position for the Mountaineers on their first possession of the second half. And you see Brad Lewis still at quarterback. You heard Coach Rich Rodriguez say if they needed a spark, they would go to Derek Jones when he talked to Matt at halftime.
He said this week to us that he may actually go 3 quarterbacks deep for a freshman.
It's been Lewis so far, all the way. Hand off to Coburn. Give him a 2 or 3 yard gain before Tario Harrison and Anthony Weaver stopping.
Well, 3-yard touchdown drive, I guess you call that. But the longest drive, they had 12 yards. Started in the 20, ends up in a punt. And they did that mostly, on the ground, because the passing game was not there in the first half.
A 12-play drive is their longest, obviously. Lewis whips it inside, and flags come down. Yes, Braxton, the intended receiver, and Beckstrom will be called for interference.
Well, they like that slant route. I mean, that's about the 4th slant route they've thrown to him. He's caught, I believe, at least one of those.
Interference called against Notre Dame, and I guess the defensive back has to try to prevent him from releasing inside.
Pass interference against the defense. Spot on the foul is a penalty. Automatic first down.
In college football, you can jam them down the field, but you can't hold them. And when the ball's in the air, you got to have your hands off them.
So West Virginia gets good field position on the short punt, and now with an interference penalty, the ball at the Notre Dame 33. 4 wides. Blitz comes. Coburn on the run. Breaks a tackle and is down to the 27-yard line. Ryan Roberts finally getting him down after Coburn was hit initially just past the line of scrimmage, was able to break the tackle and get some more.
Yeah, as much as Rich Rodriguez wants to throw the ball, you know, Coburn is probably their biggest threat. We said he doesn't, the quarterback, Brad Lewis, claps his hand when he's ready to accept the ball from the center. Here's the clap.
Notre Dame faked the blitz that time. The handoff to Coburn, and Notre Dame defense ready for it. Stopped him for a loss, and Anthony Weaver, the man that did the job for Notre Dame.
Avon Coburn, he blocks, he catches, he runs, protects well. He hasn't caught many balls today, but had 15 catches coming into the ball game.
Has one today. Here's a key third down now for West Virginia. 3rd and 7. Empty backfield, 4 wide receivers. Lewis from the shotgun. Plenty of time. And has a man open, and the catch is made by Johnson, the tight end. Torrey Johnson with a first down deep into Notre Dame territory. Tackled from behind by Jason Beckstrom. But Johnson at 255 pounds with his 2nd catch of the season.
And you know what, Tom? It was a nice change of pace by Rich Rodriguez. They've been running 4 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers. You slip the tight end in, and you throw him the ball.
Beckstrom just hanging on by his jersey, or the big guy would have a touchdown. Hand off to Coburn. And gets back to the line of scrimmage, not much more as Notre Dame starts to key a little bit more on Avon Coburn.
Yeah, but good opening drive of the second half for Brad Lewis and for this West Virginia offense. Some good runs. Lewis is throwing the ball better on this drive than they did the first half.
2nd down and 10 from the Notre Dame 12-yard line. West Virginia trails by 7. Blitz shown by Notre Dame.
See, he's got plenty of time now to check out of it. He still has 7 seconds on the shot clock, on the clock.
Well, it's almost peak season.
Yeah.
And the against Pittsburgh last week. West Virginia still a little shaky there as Coburn was unsure where to line up. Lewis for the end zone, too high. Intended for Antonio Brown, who wants an interference call, won't get it. Shane Walton was defending him.
Well, Antonio Brown, he is their big play threat. He is number 5 right here in the slot. He kind of reached out one arm. I thought maybe if he went over two hands, he had a chance.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
3rd down and 10 from the Notre Dame 12-yard line. Notre Dame shows the blitz again.
And he audibles. He sees this guy blitzing.
Lewis under pressure for the end zone and the touchdown. A.J. Nastasi came open, made the catch. And West Virginia within an extra point of tying the game.
What a well-executed play. It started with Brad Lewis's mind and ended with his arm. I mean, that's why you can take so much time. This was an audible after he saw the blitz, saw the matchup, and Nastasi, their slot.
Brad,
good series, wasn't it?
Yeah. Lewis directing an 8-play, 48-yard drive set up by the short punt. Matt Vesturgeon talking at halftime to Rich Rodriguez, who said he would go with another quarterback if they needed a spark. They got a spark from the starter there. Murray picks up the short kickoff by James. And good field position for the Irish out to the 40-yard line, where Murray is tackled by Quincy Wilson.
This is Shane Walton. Now, again, remember he's up there with about 20 seconds remaining. Now, Shane Walton's going to blitz, but he tips his hand a little too early. Still about 12 seconds. That allows Brad Lewis to call the audible to get his receiver there. Again, that's what their offensive philosophy and system tries to do. forces you to commit too early on a blitz, and then you call the audible for the touch.
And it looked like Dykes turned him loose, expecting help.
Yeah, behind.
So Notre Dame will try to answer. First down at their own 39-yard line. Up the middle with Fisher. Stop for no gain on the play to the center of the West Virginia line with Antoine Lake at the bottom of the stack.
Antoine Lake, David Upchurch, Tim Love. They have some pretty good inside players. 34, you see there too. Corey McIntyre back in the ball game. Boy, did he play well in the first half.
Shaking off a little injury that he suffered in the first half to get back on the field.
Moved from defensive end to linebacker with the injury of Brant Wiley, and boy, has he taken to that position.
And the rain has returned now here at Notre Dame Stadium. As we come under the 10-minute mark, third quarter. Blitz by the Mountaineers, and the pitch to Fisher, who's tackled for a loss, all the way back to the 30-yard line by the free safety, Rick Sherrod.
That was a little catch and release by Rick Sherrod. I talked to him this week. He's number 27. He's a fisherman. He was fishing Wednesday night, kind of a catch and release.
Didn't look like he released him to me. I think he kept him and
he caught him there
for dinner.
Never released. But this is a guy, Rick Sherrod, who makes a lot of tackles in their defensive team. See, 83 on the year. That is a lot of tackles in their first 5 ball games. But they did play against one wishbone team.
Like he filleted the ball carrier that time. It's 3rd and 16. Blitz and sack. Ball's loose. And Notre Dame got it back.
Brian King.
Holiday looked like he got it back, but Brian King came on the blind side and delivered a blow to Carlisle Holiday. And give Carlisle credit, he was able to retain his senses and recover the football.
Yeah, but you know what, Brian King, watch Brian King, how quickly he gets up. He's so excited about the sack. If he sits on Holiday and doesn't get it, he started celebrating. If he sits on Holiday, Holiday doesn't make that recovery.
If he holds him down,
yeah, if he holds him down, he gets up real quickly and starts celebrating. I'm talking about Brian King, number 11. See him in the back?
Yeah.
You know, and then West Virginia maybe gets the ball inside the 30.
So Hilbold, who had only a 26-yard punt, his last one, which led to the West Virginia touchdown, will send it toward Lance Frazier. All the momentum now turning to West Virginia. Pulls down the high snap and boots it to Frazier. Takes it on the fly at the 35. He's got some room. Frazier to midfield. And once again, great field position for the Mountaineers. 15-yard return of a 36-yard punt. Elam made the tackle on special teams.
Right part of your screen. Causes the fumble, but if he doesn't get up so quickly to celebrate, see, there he is. You know, the next closest guy other than Holiday was James Davis. So a nice play on one hand by Brian King, but that's one of the things you'll watch the tape tomorrow and say, if you just, you know, hang in there a little bit longer, maybe you recover a fumble.
But still good field position on the next possession now by the Mountaineers, as Coburn wrestled down for a loss on the play. Suddenly, the Irish defense has stopped Avon Coburn. Courtney Watson, the Irish leading tackler, gets credit for that stop. Notre Dame 2 possessions in the second half. On both cases, 3 and out.
See, Darrell Campbell's back in. He was the guy that had that neck sprain in class last week.
Flags fly. Beckstrom will be called for interference on Braxton.
No, Beckstrom
second time.
Beckstrom was clapping like he thought it was offensive.
I don't think so.
Where did you get those calls?
His second interference call of the game.
Well, you know, interesting point, Tom. He is their nickelback, and so by definition, he isn't a starter. He's probably the the 3rd or 4th best corner. One of the things this offense does is make you play with backups. They force you to play nickel and dime the whole game, and so by definition, he's not as talented as the starters, and they're picking on him.
Pass interference on the defense. The penalty is the spot. We'll now mark off the dead ball, personal foul against the defense.
With that additional 15, huh? You got the penalty plus the additional 15. Up here.
had been called for holding, too.
Yeah.
Then the ball was in the air, and it became interference. So the junior from Tulsa charged with interference for the second time, and Lewis celebrating the flag. He's calling for it before it's even out of the official's pocket.
Well, you see the rain coming down pretty hard as well.
With the ball on the Irish 25, and West Virginia trying to break the tie. Coburn using his blockers with a cutback and then to the 19-yard line. Twisted down there by Boyman and Elam.
Coburn has wonderful vision, doesn't he? He kind of dances around, but all the time his head is up. He's looking, he's feeling where defenders are, and he's strong enough to break tackles.
Had a knee injury as a high school senior at Holy Cross High School, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and but they knew from his junior campaign when he had 1,400 yards that he had the talent. There he is again. No, fake, and Lewis kept it.
Lewis has looked like a different quarterback this second half. So they're throwing the ball a lot better.
Might want to forget the run, so.
Yeah, it's
Hilliard and Watson were ready for him, and he got to the line of scrimmage no more. So it's 3rd down and 5. Key play coming here. Irish hoping to hold off the Mountaineers. It's a 17-17 game. Draw play. Coburn, lots of room. Blasts inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
Well, Rich Rodriguez has the Irish on their heels right now with his play calling, and their team with their execution.
A little jawing going on after the play, but it was a good play for Coburn, and now it's up to 149 yards.
Again, look at the hole, and then the block right there by number 75, Brad Cannell from Polk, West Virginia.
First down play. Coburn again. Short gain this time. Mario Harrison, the Notre Dame tackle.
I got a quiz for you, Tom. I mentioned number 75, Brad Cannell, number 75 for West Virginia from Polka, West Virginia. What do you think of the nickname of his high school team was?
Dots.
Absolutely. Who told you in your headset? I know.
No.
The polka dots. That's right.
Lewis play action fake. Drills the pass. Complete for the West Virginia touchdown. And once again, the tight end makes a big catch. Torrey Johnson, 8-yard touchdown grab. And Donald Dykes burned again in the Notre Dame secondary.
You're right, Tom. 2 big catches by Torrey Johnson this second half. One picked up a first down, one for a touchdown. And 2 drives by West Virginia have not been able to be stopped by the Irish defense.
First touchdown catch of Johnson's career. The extra point by Rao is good.
200, you said 55 pounds. He's right down here. Again, little fake in the crossing route. Here he is again. And he settles down. A good throw by Brad Lewis away from the...
Bedraggled and embattled Bob Davie, his Irish double-digit favorites today. And trailing West Virginia now with 5.5 to go, 3rd quarter. David Gibbons on the kickoff return. Gibbons hurdling would-be tacklers down the sideline, tight ropes his way to the 30-yard line where Brian King forces him out of bounds. Julius Jones took a shot and is series to series. We don't know if he'll be able to return in the game or not. That's why Gibbons is back there returning kickoffs.
Neat little call. This is the tight end. He's going to go over here. Watch the play action, a little fake in here. Then you're going to see Brad Lewis fakes through Coburn, who's been so successful running the ball. And then your tight end right there. Big target. Really good drive. Sometimes you got to take some shots. What a terrible shot that was.
No. Yeah. Defender falling down. Here's the option play. Holiday first down. Key tripped up and tackled by Caden.
Well, you know, the defense, West Virginia defense, has sensed this change in momentum as well. The offense has played well, scored their only 2 possessions this half, and now the defense has risen.
Disastrous possessions in the first 2 of the 3rd quarter by the Irish after they had rolled up nearly 200 yards in the first half.
And West Virginia's run 10 more plays than Notre Dame this half.
A flip-flop of the first half. 2 tight ends in this formation. Holiday, max protect. Flips it to Gibbons. He makes the catch and scoots out of bounds. His first catch of the day, defended by Richard Bryant. He is, however, short of the first down.
David Gibbons. And he, leading receiver from a year ago, good stop route. made Richard Bryant, number 2, think he was taking off on a go route, and then just kind of pulls up, and well-thrown ball by Holiday. Irish been good on 3rd and short today.
That's what this is. 3rd down and a yard from their own 37. Wishbone backfield. Handoff is to Howard. Terrence Howard into the game. And he has a 1st down. Caden with another tackle for West Virginia.
It's a bunch for Caden.
It is, isn't it?
You get the sense how wet and rainy it is by just looking at Bob Davie. It's coming down very hard. And that makes it tough for punters and snappers, quarterbacks and receivers.
Well, if he loses to West Virginia, he hasn't seen a downpour like will hit him then. High formation this time on 1st down. And the option. Holiday with a keep. Gets a block. Gibbons with another block. Holiday still on his feet. Racing for the end zone. Still in bounds. Holiday. Touchdown. No, he went out of bounds. Went out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 25-yard line. That was Hackett who was nudging him, trying to get him out, and they mark him out at the 25. Murray and then Gibbons with the block.
You're absolutely right, Tom. You know, Murray, the fullback, number 40, was the first guy. He just kind of crushes his guy right there. And then here's Gibbons. And then the strength of Holiday. People just kind of bounce off him. We saw it last week against Pittsburgh. And again, you see him step out yet? Yeah, maybe right there. Yeah, right there. He stepped out right there. It was a good call by the official.
But it goes for 36 yards. Not a touchdown, but 36 yards. And a 1st down for the Irish at the West Virginia 25. Irish trying to answer the West Virginia score. A handoff to Fisher. Tony Fisher, touchdown. Touchdown run by Tony Fisher. There's a flag in the end zone, and it could be unsportsmanlike against Notre Dame for the celebration.
Is that players or fans? I saw a bunch of Irish fans come on the field.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike celebration against Notre Dame. 15-yard penalty. Trial will now be on the 18.
So the celebration costs the Irish, and it suddenly becomes a tough extra point for Nick Setta.
They usually do that in the kickoff, assess that yardage.
Setta's extra point is still good, despite the added distance. The touchdown, 25 yards for Tony Fisher. Big hole up front. He hurdles his way to the end zone and has the Notre Dame score. And then Setta.
For Carlisle Holiday set up a touchdown run by Tony Fisher with this play. The option play, which has worked all day for the Irish. A 35-yard run. He got 2 good blocks, one by a wide receiver, Gibbons. He's going to step out after a 35-yard gain right about there. And that's where they out. And so on the next play, Sean Mahan, number 79. Watch though how he just buries Kyle Caden. Sean Mahan, the left guard. We've talked about the offensive line of both teams really doing the job today. Another example of Mahan there.
Watching that Holiday run again, he really set up the block by Gibbons by faking to the outside and then let Gibbons get between the ball carrier and the would-be tackler. Setta's kick. Terry and Braxton are deep. Sean Terry, the dangerous Sean Terry. Only one man to beat, then he's caught from behind by Elam. Well, the highlight of Carlisle Holiday's performance a week ago against Pittsburgh came late in the 3rd quarter. He broke through the line of scrimmage and then raced 67 yards for the touchdown. One of the Pitt defenders went for the strip, and Holiday with his strength stayed on his feet. and scored. It comes up with another big run here to set up the Irish tying touchdown.
And the other thing about Holiday, we talked about him being a young quarterback, is that he answered. You know, he answered the call. His team was down by 7. And he led them on an important drive.
Lewis hangs it up. Nobody home.
And Braxton slipped, it looked like, on the sideline. But, you know, they're still working on Jason Beckstrom. Braxton just kind of fell down. Right, it's the same matchup we've seen a couple times. And that's it. Pushes him out of bounds.
Cassell Smith in at running back for Coburn. 4 wides. And the name shows blitz. They don't come. The pass, the slant, incomplete this time. Beckstrom defending against Braxton.
You know, it's like one-on-one basketball, isn't it? Braxton and Beckstrom, 2 plays in a row. Here it is again, still on the same side, that same slant route. You know, Beckstrom really wins the last 2 battles. Last time was actually a fade route. That time a slant. He got the better of the receiver on both of those plays.
3rd and long for West Virginia. They converted all 3 of their 3rd and longs this half. Lewis complete in the flat to Smith. Wrestled down at the 40-yard line by Watson, short of the first down.
Boy, good tackle by Courtney Watson. I mean, he was the only guy that had a shot on him. Good open field tackle. Not only, you know, prevents the touchdown, prevents the first down. Right here, one-on-one. There's nobody back here.
So James will jump to will punt to Vontez Duff with Jones unavailable. And Duff says get away from it. And James punt covers 37 yards. Well, coming up in 2 weeks, Racing's Championship Day, Saturday, October 27th from Belmont Park in New York. The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. Best horses and jockeys from all over the world for this showdown. 8 championship stakes races, $13 million at stake. Racing's richest day, the Championship Day. The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships in 2 weeks.
The horses change, but the announcers don't. You've done every one of them, haven't you? All 18?
I have. Can't get rid of it. Fisher. First down run. Rick Sherrod smells it out for a short gain.
Any big favorites in that Breeders' Cup?
Well, there's a 2-year-old named Officer who is unbeaten and looks to be the next Point Given, trained by the same trainer, Bob Baffert, and has been a sensation in his 2-year-old campaign. And most of the rest of the races are pretty wide open. It makes for some good competition. 2 of the best in Europe are coming over to try the best in the United States. Always a lot of good storylines and good human and equine stories to tell. Hand off to Fisher again. James Davis on the stop for the Mountaineers. It'll set up a 3rd and short for the Irish. And what about Notre Dame? Their first 3 games, they were the lowest scoring team in 1A football, averaging less than 8 points a game. They've scored 24 in each of their last 2 games with still a quarter plus remaining here.
And they've been able to do this the last 2 weeks really without much of a passing game. You know, today Holiday's only 4 of 10 for 33 yards.
Still amongst the worst at 6th, but they were the absolute worst before the Pitt game. Option, pitch, Fisher. Stretching out. Does he have the first down? It'll be close. He knew what he needed, and he stretched his body out with Hackett draped all over him.
Boy, it's nice to be 6'2" at times like that. Again, a smart play by Tony Fisher, which we've seen a lot of this year. This is a guy that just has a sense of what to do at the right moment. Now, his foot might have slipped out early on that.
Well, it's close enough that they will measure.
Remember last week on an option play, he had the discipline of not blocking the guy the quarterback was optioning off of. Smart player.
And it looked like you might be breaking away for a touchdown as he broke through the line of scrimmage and his hamstring pulled off.
Yeah.
Here's the measurement. And it's just short. Well, in the first half, Bob Davie went for it twice on 4th and short.
And this is a difficult part of the field.
Yeah, this one is deeper in his territory.
Well, he's going to go for it, and I will be surprised if they don't sneak it. But yeah, I think he's bringing this punt team up. He wants to talk to his punter. He may try to draw them off. It never seems to work. You know, have you ever seen anybody get drawn off in that situation?
No, you were just a pup the last time that happened.
Boy, I don't remember that. I don't remember being a pup. Don't feel like one.
Full house, wishbone backfield. They're 2 for 2 on their 4th downs. Handed to Fisher.
Got it.
And the tough runner didn't get much, but it didn't need much as it goes over the top, upended, but has the first down.
But the fact that he's able to go over the top, Tom, means, again, the offensive line, without being terribly redundant, they're kind of sealing their guys, not allowing any penetration, not allowing linebackers to jump over the top to meet him, right? So even though you need a half a yard, your linemen do their thing first and allow Tony Fisher to pick up the first.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, tied at 24. Irish with a first down at their own 34-yard line. Rain has let up a bit, but still misting. Conditions very wet.
The Irish missed.
Shameless plug here. A keeper by Holiday on the option. 2 yards. Caden and Hackett come up to make the stop.
Sean Hackett did. Out of his whip position. You see him playing close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the Miami Hurricanes, first in one poll, second in another, looked like a #1 team today by dismantling Florida State at home. They were the last team to beat Florida State in Tallahassee. That was back in '91. They do it again today in convincing fashion.
UCLA over Washington.
Who holds his team trailing at the half by field goal.
That's right. Didn't coach at Arkansas anymore, does he?
Chris Sims bouncing back in a big way for the Texas Longhorns. Ball start. It was.
Well, he had too much for lunch this week.
Bowlers.
Yeah. That's what that 25-ounce steak will do for you.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
I don't think he'll be blown away by the wind, though, anytime soon.
Yeah. This is he right in here, I believe. Oops, there it is. Oops, other side, my other right. There he is.
So the 5-yard step off makes it 2nd and 13. Holiday evades one rusher. Now he's going to keep it. Runs into his own man and is taken down for a loss on the play, I believe. Back to the 30-yard line. Jason Davis, and James Davis. And maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage, so will not be in the books as a sack.
We talked a little bit about it last week, Tom. I think when a quarterback is really trying to find a rhythm in the passing game, there's no friendlier target than a tight end or some backs who catch the ball. In this year, coming in today's ball game, only 7 receptions among the tight ends and all of the backs combined.
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. They won't run another play. And the 3rd quarter comes to a close. At the end of the 3rd, it's Notre Dame 24, West Virginia 24. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local.
Word to victory for Notre Dame.
Sights and sounds of a football Saturday at Notre Dame. It's a complete experience, a weekend-long event, actually, and the Irish in a tough game with West Virginia today, tied at 24 as we start the 4th quarter. 3rd and 13 for the Irish. They're at their own 31-yard line. The rain intensifies. Carlisle Holiday to pass. Had his man and hit him. Hunter goes down to make the reception and pick up the Irish first down.
If the Irish have a deep threat, Javen Hunter is that guy. Now, we talked about the patience in the pocket. This time, Carl Holiday just kind of stays right in the pocket. And here, good release by Hunter. Avoids the bump. you saw that quick peek upfield, he had a feel and saw where the free safety was and knew there was going to be a big hole there.
15 yards, the longest Notre Dame passing reception today, and the third catch for Hutter. On first down, the tailback Fisher. 2 tough yards. David Upchurch anchoring the West Virginia line.
Now, you mentioned in a tough ball game here, 24-24. If the Irish were to win this game, they have a tradition at the end of the game to sing their fight song when they win at home. And last week, Bob Davie fired Cedric Hilliard, number 50. And then he brought on, he's got a new guy to sing it, number 62, Casey Robin from Louisiana. And he said he did a really good job last week. So he's going to get the job the rest of the year.
Holiday with a play-action fake and plenty of time. Now he rolls and decides to keep. And is blasted out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. Lake and Caden both hit him. And a scuffle breaks out.
No flags thrown. It's Wiley, a nice athletic move. He's still in bounds, still hittable. You know, that's what Bob Davie was talking to us about yesterday. Carlisle Holiday has to know when to fold him and get out of bounds.
A big hit.
There's Casey Robin, who we was talking about a moment ago.
What did Coach Davie say? It was the biggest move he made of the week.
Best move, yeah. So Robin gets to sing the fight song.
3rd down and 5. Play clock at 1 as Holiday gets the snap. And finds his man. First down as Owens makes the catch. The tight end, only the second reception for any of the tight ends this season. Grant Wiley tackled him, but Owens has a first down grab.
And second pass attempt in a row by Holiday where he didn't run too quickly. Wasn't flush, just kind of stayed there, felt it, or, you know, first half he would run on those.
It looked like he thought about it, and then stayed in the pocket, and it paid off for him.
If they can get him to do that, they're going to have a chance for a lot of plays like that and some bigger plays in their passing game.
From the West Virginia 40-yard line, Irish first down. Fisher. Tackled by Hackett. First down gain of 4 yards. Sellout crowd for the 158th time at Notre Dame Stadium, braving the rain today. And they have seen a closely matched pair of teams here, West Virginia and Notre Dame thus far, with a lot of offense that seems to come in spurts.
It's like the rain.
Quarterback draw, has some room, makes another move, and then is tackled hard at the 27-yard line. Tony Fisher with a key block for Holiday, who's finally tracked down by Rick Sherrod.
Yeah, you mentioned Tony Fisher with the key block. How many things does he do well for this Irish team? This is the design quarterback draw, at least the third, maybe the fourth call. But Fisher just, you know, in there battling. Number 12 right here. He creates the first lane. Good block here. It was Jordan Black. He's still on 24 first down plays, 23 rushes for Notre Dame.
Handoff is to Fisher.
Going to need some more balance on first down. I mean, as good a run as that was, you know, you pick up, what did he pick up, 3, maybe 4 yards?
Well, after a while, doesn't the defense just stack against the run?
Absolutely. I mean, you think you'd have some opportunities there for, you know, maybe that play-action pass. They've run a lot of options. Maybe you have an option pass where it looks like the option, then you drop back and throw it.
They called a draw play, and in order to have a draw, you have to have the threat of a pass, don't you?
Generally.
14th play of the long Notre Dame drive. Fisher again, this time caught from behind, tackled at the line of scrimmage. I think it was Estrada that got him first. Estrada, whose family is from the Dominican Republic, grew up in the Bronx, New York. The Rich Rodriguez trying to rally his defense here as Notre Dame continues this long, grinded out drive.
West Virginia is going to use a timeout.
So West Virginia takes the timeouts. It comes with 11:07 on the clock, fourth quarter, and a tie game. Notre Dame up to the line of scrimmage, ready to go. Carlisle Holiday, the quarterback, 129 yards rushing, the most by a Notre Dame quarterback since Tony Rice ran for 141 against Penn State, November 18th, 1989.
How do you remember all those things? Incredible.
Holiday will be spun down. He let it go. Incomplete. Was it grounding or not? He was not outside the tackle, was it?
That should be a grounding penalty. Absolutely should be a grounding penalty.
And there comes the flag. James Davis had him, was spinning him around, and Holiday let it fly, but was not outside the box.
Yeah. Disregard the flag. The pass crossed the line of scrimmage. Therefore, there is no foul.
But he wasn't outside the tackle box.
I didn't think he was either. Very close. Maybe on the final spin. That's a close call.
Well, here's number 1, James Davis. We talked about what kind of pass rusher he is. 3 sacks in 1 series last year in a game. I still think that actually should have been intentional grounding.
That one is questionable.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Notre Dame is going to have to spend a timeout. The play clock was down to 12, and they didn't even have any idea what they were going to run.
See, that's a real big play there, because if the penalty is called, they're out of field goal range.
And Rich Rodriguez is hot.
I think he has an absolute right to be hot. Yeah, indeed, the ball did get the line of scrimmage. The whole issue is, was he outside the tackle box?
He's going to continue to argue. He's not getting much relief.
Yeah. You don't see him reverse calls much, do you?
Well, you were a pup on it.
Send him to Washington to lobby. Again, here's the box right here. See, I think I think he's still in the box.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And that would have taken them out of field goal range. Now Seta, he has a career long of 47, and this will be what? About that.
So tough call for West Virginia as Seta comes on to attempt the field goal. It'll be a 42-yard attempt, but with wet conditions, that plant foot has got to be a little shaky.
Yeah, and the snap and the hold. See the holder, Adam Tibble, with his hands in that little warmer.
Tibble earlier made a nice catch of a high snap to get it down on a successful field goal. Seta has not missed this year. 42-yard field goal attempt. Seta's kick is up, and it is good.
Like somebody threw a towel up.
I didn't know what that was either. Something came flying through the air. But the football, though it was low, had a lower trajectory, did make it through the uprights and over the crossbar, and Notre Dame takes the lead. And how big was that call, non-call on?
Yeah, it was huge. See, there's a towel going up.
It's almost like somebody threw a towel up to try to block it.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't intentional. But, in those situations in the weather, good snap by Jonathan Crowther, good hold by Adam Tipple, and then a determined kick by Nick Seta.
So Seta still has not missed this season. That one from 42 yards.
Take a look at that left plant foot. Size 10.5 left shoe, size 9 right shoe of Nick Seta. Most kickers on their kicking shoe is 2 or 3 sizes smaller. They like that tight feel.
So that was a bizarre. I still haven't figured out where that towel came from.
I think it comes from right here. Yep. There it is.
It hit the ball.
It hit the towel. Yeah.
That's why the ball was so low. It hit the towel. Well, I've never seen that before.
One more time. There it is. And
it's almost like he threw it, though. Did it come from his hand?
I thought it came from somebody's hip.
Now, what would you call on that?
I have not seen that in all my years, I have to admit. Even since I was a pup.
And that's been a while.
Hey, thank you.
Bizarre play. Oh, I still can't. Might have been in the belt of one player, and as the player behind him threw his arms up to try to block it, it ripped the towel from his belt and flew into the air.
Let me see that as a strategy.
That's my best guess on what happened. In any event, it went through, and it's a 27-24 Notre Dame lead. Just under 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Set as kickoff. Out of bounds.
Yeah, unforced error.
And West Virginia will get good field position to try to answer the field goal or perhaps take the lead with a touchdown. Sunday night beginning at 9, 8 Central. Two of NBC's newest dramas are back-to-back in a hot action-packed 2-hour lineup. First, Law & Order Criminal Intent, followed by UC Undercover. Two Sunday night dramas starting at 9, 8 Central here on NBC.
Well, Brad Lewis is throwing the ball around. 6 different receivers have caught 8 of his passes.
The Leprechaun thought he was going to have an easy season the way they opened up, but now 27 push-ups here.
Somebody move.
Like a false start as a Notre Dame defender came across. Was he drawn off? They can call this on the defense now, but it looks like it will go against West.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offensive team, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Maybe Lance Nemo was guilty of the false start as Grant Irons was threatening him.
When you don't have a snap count, how can you have a false start there? They don't have a snap count.
Well, I think Irons might be causing it.
Yeah, maybe.
Handoff, Coburn. Again, as always, hard to bring down. Got back to 5 yards of the penalty and a couple more.
Nice running lane, though. I mean, that right side, Tim Brown, the right tackle, Brad Cannell, formerly the Polka Dots. You know,
I don't know. That was one of my best guesses of the year.
I was very impressed. Tario Harrison, actually number 51, kind of fought off a block to make the tackle. Incomplete pass by Brad Lewis.
Intended for either Brown or Terry. Meanwhile, Coburn has 156 yards rushing, the most against Notre Dame since Randall Mealy had 222 against the Irish in the Independence Bowl in '97. Big day for Coburn. But his team is down by 3. And with 3rd and 7, Coburn's out of the game as they look to pass. Plenty of time. And the catch made short of the first down by Terry. Sean Terry slipped down a yard short. Vontez Duff was defending him, so it'll bring up a 4th down and about a yard for West Virginia.
Well, again, this is not a team that runs a lot of short yardage offenses. Sometimes they try to quick snap it on these short yardage plays.
They're going to go for it.
Yeah.
4th down, less than a yard from their own 44.
Yeah, good time to call the audible. Still 12 seconds remaining on the clock.
He sized up the defense, made the call. Coburn, first down, West Virginia. Why else would you look any other direction? Avon Coburn has been all but unstoppable today as he continues to pile up the yardage.
Hey, Rich Rodriguez is calling a good game. I mean, he is changing it up, using his tight ends in the passing game as well as the wide receivers, but when he really needs yards, he gives it to Coburn, and he responds.
Watson just got him by the jersey. Coburn again, and this time the defense ready for him. Stopped after a yard gain. Clock ticking down toward 9 minutes. Watson gets another tackle. And West Virginia hoping they can rally and make the trip back to Morgantown a little more pleasant despite the weather. They're moving the football again. They're approaching midfield with 9 minutes left. Lewis kind of short on the pass. Collision and a flag. Shane Walton collided with Antonio Brown on a poorly thrown ball.
And Bob Davie doesn't like the call, but the official said, hey, Shane Walton used his arm as a club. The official gave that signal. He used his arm as a club. You see the field judge, they're just saying that. Number 42, Shane Walton's covering the slot receiver. then there's actually somebody in the quarterback Lewis's face, which is
against the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I didn't see a club there on that replay. I did not see Shane Walton club him there.
And it looked like Walton was turned back, and he has a right to the ball as well.
If he gets his head turned, they're generally going to call this incidental contact.
Yeah, it's turned. He has a right to that football as well as the offensive.
That is not pass interference. You know, it happened right in front of the Notre Dame bench. You know, now as the head coach, you got to gather yourself. You know, you get the emotion out, and then you got to gather yourself because he's calling a lot of the defensive signals.
Well, a questionable call that went against West Virginia. A questionable non-call led to the Notre Dame field goal. And now a questionable call against Notre Dame could aid the Mountaineers. Lewis keeps after the play-action fake, and I think they ought to delete that one from the playbook.
I know at halftime you said Woody Dantzler ran for 146 yards today. But Brad Lewis is not going to do that. He's thrown the ball well, and look how hard it's raining. The ball's wet, it's slippery, but he is doing, that is just not his forte.
Grant Irons with that tackle for the Irish. Draw play. Coburn. Good strong tackle by Anthony Weaver. He clamped on and would not let go. It looked like Coburn was going to break free. Couldn't get away.
Yeah, a leaping Anthony Weaver. He's right in here. Watch Anthony Weaver right there. He's got a dives and brings it down. Weaver's had 7 tackles for losses this year, 3 sacks, an interception, a couple of tip balls.
5 wides, including Coburn, who's set as a wide receiver. Lewis. Plenty of time. Overshoots his man. It's intercepted. Justin Smith picks it off. He's got a convoy and upended by Lewis at the 45-yard line.
That ball looked like it was thrown because it was wet. Looked like it slipped out of Brad Lewis's hands. And Justin Smith in that deep, free safety position. All he had to do was catch it. It was almost like a punt. Ball thrown on. I don't think he just could get enough steam on it because the ball was wet.
First interception for Justin Smith, the senior from St. Petersburg. And he returned it 33 yards.
Well, last week the Irish defense had 3 interceptions, which really turned their game around against Pittsburgh. And just as West Virginia's driving in the 4th quarter, they come up with a very timely one again.
The 11th interception of the season by West Virginia quarterbacks. That one very costly. Heavy rain now. Fisher trying to hold on to the football. Shakes tacklers. Fisher breaks free. Fisher inside the 30. Fisher down the sideline. Touchdown.
Weather for a guy named Fisher.
He reeled in the West Virginia defense with a 55-yard run and broke a tackle, and then it was a foot race.
And anyway, this is a guy coming into this game with a very tender hamstring.
Lewis with the interception. Notre Dame converts with Tony Fisher going 55 yards. Nick Setta will attempt the extra point. Sends it up and through.
No towels thrown.
And West Virginia's not throwing in the towel either, even though Fisher has put a hurt on the Mountaineers with this 55-yard touchdown run. Tony Fisher lugs it into the end zone, and the Irish are up by 10.
7:30 remaining in the 4th quarter, just like last week for the Irish. It turned with a turnover caused by an interception. Justin Smith steps in front of an overthrown ball, and then in the next big play right here. Good cutback, a missed tackle there by Sean Hackett. Some nifty running by Tony Fisher. The speed, it looks like, you know, Tom, that hamstring begins to bother him late in that run.
Right there, yeah. Fisher has gained 119 yards today and scored 2 touchdowns as the Irish have piled up 323 rushing yards.
West Virginia's defense been on the field a lot this game.
Big set is kick. Sean Terry will down it in the end zone. Touchback. Holiday with 129 and Fisher 119, and Jones, who hasn't played after being shaken up, at 69 yards. So the responsibility falls on Lewis, who with a wet football threw an interception last time, and you thought it was the conditions that led to that.
There's like 13 guys that start on this call. They call this the cluster defense for Notre Dame. 13 guys who start when they see what kind of personnel comes in. Some of the defenders rush off and end up with hopefully 11.
Coburn's had a big day, but West Virginia has rushed for only 46 yards since the first quarter. Here's Coburn again.
Andy Wisney, I think, number 94, did some damage there. Inside tackle, number 94, Wisney just kind of pushed the guard right back into the ball carrier.
First quarter, they got 126, and with that loss, only 45 since then. Draw play, Coburn. Cuts back, stopped at the 25, Harrison and Dykes.
Okay, with 6:50 remaining in the ball game, Brad Lewis needs to find a way to pick up a first down, not only to keep this drive alive, but I think his defense is getting tired. Keeping them off the field is just as important. So 2 reasons to pick up this 3rd and 6.
Coburn has to be getting pretty tired too. He's carried the ball 25 times. Lewis rolls. Moving pocket. Shapes too high for Brown. Was it tipped by Dykes?
Yes, it was tipped by somebody. Somebody tipped it.
Somebody at the line of scrimmage, maybe.
Yeah, because Brown was open in the flat. Would have picked up the first down. If they moved the pocket to the left, like Lenny Dawson, moving pocket. It's one of the defensive linemen for Notre Dame got a hand on that.
So the Notre Dame defense holds, setting up a 4th down. And Todd James to punt. And Julius Jones reappears to field the punt, takes it on the hop. And dives into West Virginia territory down to the 48-yard line. 12-yard return after a 40-yard punt. Let's check in with Matt.
Tom, thanks. It's kind of a good news, bad news situation on the injury front for the Irish. As you guessed earlier, Tony Fisher did pull up lame with a hamstring injury near the end of that touchdown run. He's been checked out by the trainers. Yet Julius Jones, who was knocked out early in the 3rd quarter with a slight concussion, has been cleared to play. So Fisher scores. He's unavailable now, and Julius Jones is right back in there.
There's Jones, 22. He's going to line up as the lone setback in this Irish 2 tight end set. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. First down from the West Virginia 48. Holiday, short drop and a run. Jason Davis stops the quarterback draw.
Well, we thought we were going to see a freshman running back named Ryan Grant for the Irish today. No sign of him.
And Terrence Howard's only been on for a couple plays.
Terrence Howard still continues to contribute on special teams.
Jason Davis a little slow getting up for the West Virginia defense.
Now when you're protecting a 10-point lead and you see how hard it's raining, you absolutely make sure you stay in there on those snaps underneath that center maybe a little bit longer to secure the snap, and just absolutely tell your running backs to secure the ball.
Off to Julius Jones. Stopped at the line of scrimmage by Angel Estrada. Began dismally in the 3rd quarter for Notre Dame, and then they found their rhythm and have scored their last 3 possessions.
Yeah, and remember they answered the 2 long drives by West Virginia to open this half as well. So good counter-punching by the Irish offense. Big play for Rich Rodriguez's defense. He needs the ball back with under 5 minutes to go.
Irish facing a 3rd and long. Play stopped. Would be a false start.
It wasn't the clock, I know.
Prior to the snap, False start on the offensive team. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Step off 5 yards against Davies Irish, and it's 3rd and 14 coming up. So West Virginia needs a big stop here. 93 yards and penalties against Notre Dame. That's usually costly, but the Irish still have a 10-point lead.
Yeah, again, in Carlisle Holiday, I'm sure the coaches have schooled him all week. In this situation, up by 10, don't take any unnecessary chances.
Option pitch to Jones.
That's something.
Jones with a lot of green grass in front. Stopped short of the 1st down by Hackett.
Well, that wasn't a tentative run. You remember Julius was saying to us yesterday, hey, I've been running too tentatively. This is a dash, a sprint to the corner over here. These guys all have angles on them. But still, it will force a punt.
Louis Hillbold will punt. And despite the rain, the fans in their foul weather gear are hanging in there. Hillbold with his 4th punt of the game. Frazier deep for West Virginia. Hillbold will try to down it inside the 20. And it hits that sodden turf and dies at about the 4-yard line.
Looked like a Balata shot there, huh?
A 40-yard punt. And Vontez Duff downs it for the Irish. Coming to NBC.
Sunday, every parent's worst nightmare. Now we fight back. And the stage is set for America's newest hero, UC Undercover, Sunday on NBC.
That's coming up tomorrow here on NBC. So West Virginia, time running out, 4:09. They're down 10, and they're backed up to their own 4-yard line. Handoff to Coburn. Trying to make the corner, and is ridden out of bounds by Smith, who had the interception earlier.
Well, West Virginia, for all the passing that Rich Rodriguez likes to do, they have no receiver with more than 2 catches. You have 8 guys who caught the ball.
UCLA with a big lead on Washington. Arkansas still leads Lou Holtz and the Gamecocks in the 3rd quarter. Just over 4 minutes left here. Lewis from his end zone. Lost it up. The man was open. The pass not there. Coburn out of the backfield had come wide open. Vontez Duff had lost him, but the pass was way off the mark.
Yeah, that had a chance of really being a big play. But the timing just didn't look right. You know, all the actions this way, and it's the throwback to Coburn. The defender slipped.
That could have been 6. Instead, it's 3rd and 7. Lewis winds up and heaves down the sideline. A wounded duck. Nearly caught as it was a jump ball. Sean Terry went up with Jason Beckstrom, and the ball falls to the turf incomplete.
West Virginia must like the matchup on Jason Beckstrom. But again, good play here. I thought he was going to catch this one.
Yeah, it did look like on the second try he was going to haul it in.
Yeah, it came off his face.
I think Beckstrom got a hand in there just to rip it away as they went down. 4th down. And Jones awaits the punt by James. Takes a West Virginia bounce. Jones fields it on the second hop. Trying to get to the sideline. Shakes one tackler, then it's hit and dropped. And there's a flag on the play. 12-yard return. The punt covered 50 yards. And we'll check out the penalty. Tackle was made by Jeremy Knapp. Virginia has to face Miami next. Foul against the Mountaineers. Personal foul, blocking below the waist. And, of course, Notre Dame next week entertains their old rival, Southern Cal. But what about West Virginia having to face Virginia Tech at Notre Dame and then the nation's #1 team, Miami?
It's not a friendly schedule.
Had Maryland earlier, too.
Yeah. Maryland's a good football team. Just went to 5-0. Ralph Friedgen, the head coach there, has done a great job wherever he's been.
Overtime victory at Georgia Tech was huge.
Now, they called a penalty against West Virginia, right? Wasn't it? Yes. Was it a personal foul?
Maybe there's more than one foul. Maybe it's a personal foul on West Virginia, blocking below the waist on Notre Dame. Let's see. Ben Wagers will give us the call eventually.
Must be a lawyer taking this much time.
You said that, I didn't.
We had a personal foul against the kicking team during the kick. That penalty was declined. During the return, we had an illegal block in the back by the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, and now we'll enforce a dead ball, personal foul against the kicking team. It's 15 yards, automatic first down.
No wonder it took so long. What was that costing us? About $4.50 an hour?
Absolutely.
That's $450 an hour. 10-point game. Dry. It's dry.
They're hiding it, yeah.
First down, Notre Dame. 39-yard line of West Virginia. Irish lead, 34-24. Off to Julius Jones. Scrambling ahead to the 35-yard line, tackled by Rick Sherrod and Kyle Caden.
This is where you find out about your offensive line. Trying to protect a 10-point lead, 3 minutes left in the ball game.
Now, courtesy of Siebel Systems, our game summary.
A lot of rushing yards. He had 338, and then we talked about offensive linemen. And again, no one's going to pat him on the back. They don't get to date all the cheerleaders and such. These are the guys that, you know, go home tomorrow, pick up the paper, and they say 338 yards, we did our job.
Quarterbacks date the cheerleaders?
That generally works.
Carlisle Holiday handing to Julius Jones. Dragging West Virginia tacklers with him, has a first down.
Well, for the Irish, again, they can hang on here, run out this 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. Pleased with the win. Ran the ball real well. I thought the offensive line played exceptionally well. Still have a long way to go in the passing game, but they developed, I think, some more explosiveness in the option game. We saw some big option play. One long touchdown pitch to Julius Jones.
And once again, the defense has created some turnovers, and the offense has taken advantage of them. Some key turnovers, just like in the Pittsburgh game. Jones tackled by Hackett. So Julius Jones closing in now on 100-yard rushing, and the Irish already have 2 over 100. Holiday with 130 and Fisher with 119. And now Jones is up to 92.
That's good backs, and that's great offensive line play. All those guys, Fain and Mahan, Black, Milligan, Ballers.
Jones will get another chance. This time he slips down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, we talked about last year, remember playing these kind of conditions before a rainy game a year ago, when with Julius Jones said, hey, in conditions like this, I really try to run a little bit more flat-footed. Don't try to cut quite as sharply.
And timeout taken by West Virginia, stopping the clock at 1:44. Well, next Saturday, one of the greatest rivalries in college football is renewed here in South Bend. The men of Troy, the University of Southern California, face the Irish. In the 20s, they traveled by train, and the matchup has featured some of the greatest who ever played: Frank Gifford, A.D. Anthony Davis, and, of course, on the Notre Dame side, the great Joe Montana. That rivalry is renewed next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, USC and Notre Dame here on NBC. You will be impartial, I presume?
Absolutely, always am. I don't expect to see any green jerseys, though, by the Irish. Do you?
All right. That was one of the many milestones. I was once talking to Lou Holtz when he was the head coach here at Notre Dame. We were talking about the Michigan and Notre Dame rivalry before their game with the Wolverines, and he said nothing is like Southern Cal Notre Dame, the greatest rivalry in college football.
Well, when I grew up in Southern California, always wanted to play in the game. Was lucky enough to play in 3 of them, and you still talk about them. You still think about it. It is the best game in college football. Neither team is a dominant team this year, but still a special game. A little different though. John McKay, my old coach, passed away this past June, so it's going to be a different Notre Dame week.
Lou Rockne taking his team by train to the West Coast. That must have been quite an adventure. 3rd down and 8 here for the Irish. West Virginia has used its final timeout. Jones carries, Lake tackles, and the clock rolls.
With a 10-point lead, I don't think they'll try to field goal, would you? I think they just run it out. I mean, and give the ball over on downs with. Use as much of the clock as you can. Probably maybe take the penalty.
4th down and 7 from the Mountaineer 25-yard line. And the play clock will take us down to 1 minute. And it looks like they will take the delay of game penalty. Actually call a timeout to stop it with 1 second left. So they milked the clock, used as much as they could. Stop it at 1:01.
Yeah, Notre Dame really grounded out today. When we came at the top of this show, we said that West Virginia is one of the top teams in terms of number of plays run in the course of a game. They averaged 82 plays a game. Today, only 60.
Well, let's take a look at our Chevrolet players of the game. Avon Coburn from West Virginia, Carlisle Holiday from Notre Dame. Big afternoons for each of those, especially on the ground. And in recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. The Chevrolet Scholarship Program, a college football tradition for over 30 years.
Well, Holiday may have won it, but he better take his offensive line out. Take Kurt Vollers out for another big old steak.
Carlisle can't afford to feed Vollers. So the Irish will meet Southern Cal here on NBC next week. Then they'll go to BC, and then the Tennessee Vols come calling November 3rd. The final home game against Navy here the 17th. And then closing on the road at Stanford, and then against Purdue in that postponed game as the Boilermakers suffered their first loss of the season today at Michigan. And on the 25th, West Virginia must travel to Miami, then meet Rutgers, Syracuse, Temple, and Pitt.
I give Bob Davie some credit. He takes enough grief by Irish fans. His team was 0-3, kept his team together, never lost the faith in his players.
Holiday's going to throw on 4th down, and they have it to Jones for the 1st down. What did he say? Let it rip.
Wow. Yeah, he deserves a smile. But he was everybody's least favorite coach around here for a while. But, he did a great job, I think, of keeping the team together. And kind of an ugly win last week, but this is a much improved team from 2 weeks ago, and he should be happy.
And scoring 34 points after scoring only 2 touchdowns the first 3 games.
I think they got some big special teams today, too, for the first time this year.
Special
Some nice
teams,
kicks off.
defense, creating turnovers, the formula for success again this week.
That nifty little onside kick.
Yep. Few wrinkles. Opening up in a nickel defense against that spread Rodriguez-directed West Virginia offense.
And for Rich Rodriguez, trying to find the right personnel for his offense. It's kind of like, going to Idaho and eating carrots. I mean, it is sometimes a mismatch between his personnel. He didn't have quite the right personnel to run his offense. So.
What do you eat when you come to Indiana?
Well, when I'm out with you, it's usually steak.
And the final seconds will tick away without the Irish running another play. And they have won their 2nd game in a row after losing their first 3. Bob Davie and the Irish beating West Virginia by 10, 34-24. And the Mountaineers gave the Irish all they could handle for most of the game. Rich Rodriguez and Bob Davie exchanging handshakes at midfield. Once again, the final score, Notre Dame 34, West Virginia 24. Don't forget, we'll be back next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern, to bring you one of college football's most storied rivalries, Notre Dame and USC. And tonight on NBC, Spy TV returns with back-to-back episodes, followed by the golf comedy Happy Gilmore, starring Adam Sandler. So for Pat Hayden and Matt Vesgersian, Tom Hammond saying so long from Notre Dame Stadium. You've been watching Notre Dame football on NBC.
Tomorrow.